Everyone to the Give 'em 5 showcase. Tonight's matchup at the college football playoffs semifinal, the Texas Longhorns taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basel, and this is a matchup, folks, that we've been thinking about a lot. We've definitely had some ups, some downs when it comes to this playoffs and the new format, but this is a matchup that many people are anticipating. And even though we had quite the matchup last night, it's going to be interesting. Robbie, what do you think are going to be the key or players that are going to do the most for this matchup?
The thing I'm going to be watching out for sure are the difference makers, those key players, the key position players, those skill positions that really have set some of these teams apart all season long. You start with Ohio State, who in their first couple of playoff games have shined at wide receiver with Emeka Ibuka and Jeremiah Smith. Both of them respectfully carrying the offense with Will Howard. And also, you can't forget about their running game with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Both of them putting on a show as well. And for Texas, you got to watch out for Quinn Ewers at quarterback. Everyone knows that. But Matthew Golden, Isaiah Bond, both of those guys at wide receiver, they're going to have to make a difference because if Ohio State is scoring like they have in the first half of these last couple playoff games, there's a chance. I think it's a slim one, but that there is a chance this game could be over at the end of the first quarter. Something we have seen from Ohio State already these playoffs.
Absolutely, that last matchup against Oregon, the number 1 seed, and we just saw them absolutely tear them up. Jeremiah Smith having 187 yards by the end of the game and getting most of that in the first quarter, like you said. Absolutely insane. And of course, we had Texas against Arizona State, very close. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to try to pick up on the mistakes that they had made. And especially, it's not going to get much easier against a top tier team in Ohio State.
Definitely. And Texas, the one thing that Texas and Ohio State have in common is that both of them dominated one half and then were like okay in the second half or okay in the other half. For Texas, first half team. Both of them are first half teams in all honesty. You look at Arizona, the Arizona State game, it what they led by 17 at the end of the first half, but then they got outscored 24-7 in the second half of your Texas. Ohio State they haven't really needed to play a second half yet because have you seen the first half of their first two games? Come on now. But it's going to come down, I think, to that second half because if both teams can do a little bit of magic in the first half and both of these teams can keep it close, neither of them have played a second or good, complete second half yet. That's the other thing you got to watch out for because Ohio State, they went out and blew out Tennessee. They went out and then beat Oregon, which respect for both of those results. Texas, they went out the first time. I mean, they beat Arizona State and they played Clemson the week before the big game here on Give 'em Five. And then, of course, they beat Arizona State on New Year's Day. So both of these teams have an interesting paths to get to this moment. Both teams that dominate the first half. I'm interested to see over 60 minutes what both of these teams can do.
Absolutely, both teams are going to need a complete game out of them as we are just moments away from the kickoff of this matchup. And what do you say? We go to break or just let this one
Yeah,
ride out?
yeah, let's go to break. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes for kickoff. Don't go anywhere. This is Given 5 Media's coverage of the college football playoff semifinal at the Cotton Bowl.
We welcome you guys back to the Give 'em 5 presentation of the Texas Longhorns versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Chase Caridi, Robbie Basel here with you. We are waiting the coin toss of this matchup. And listen, as we said, it's going to be very, not even just offensive dominated, but both these teams have been so heavy in their presence. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to get the upper hand when it's been upper hand for them, seemingly most of the games they've played.
Yeah, I think it's a very good way to put it. I mean, both of these teams have dominated from the jump, at least early on in both of their playoff games so far, particularly Ohio State. And we saw that from the jump against Oregon. We saw that from the jump in the first matchup against Tennessee. So both of these teams know how to get off on the right to a hot start, and it's going to come down to who gets off to a better start in the first couple of drives here in this contest.
Definitely, as we await the matchup to begin, as college football semifinals ending this night on Friday and starting this weekend. The NFL starting their playoffs with a massive wild card weekend. Any particular matchup you're looking at, Robbie?
Ooh, that's a good one to point out. Green Bay and Philadelphia is a weird one, especially with the news that Jalen Hurts is coming back to play this game. He just got cleared out of concussion protocol this morning. So that's a matchup I want to watch out for. And also, wild card match. I mean, we're talking about wild cards. Watch out for Tampa and Washington. I'm a big fan of that one. Both games later on Sunday at 4:25 and 8 o'clock. Both of those games, I love the way Washington is playing right now. And Baker Mayfield in a playoff game against Jaden Daniels. It's a very interesting matchup for sure.
Definitely those two offensive powerhouses, just like this matchup right here that we are just awaiting the kickoff for, as it will be Texas, I believe, to receive the ball first. We will see what Quinn Ewers and this Longhorns offense will do.
It looks like
Crowd
so many
incredibly loud.
people are Texas. It's incredibly orange, is it not?
Definitely. Even through our muted screens, you can almost hear the hook'em as we still await kick on its way, and it will be a touchback to start off the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. We talk a little about Quinn Ewers in his last matchup, 20 for 30, 322 passing yards, had 3 touchdowns passing and 1 rush touchdown, 1 interception. Not the perfect day, but definitely if you're Texas, you want him to bring a little bit more of that kind of hero ball esque without being too dangerous like we saw last night with someone like Drew Adler.
Definitely. And early on in this game, you're going to see them want to run the ball with Wisner. He had a slow game in the last time out against ASU. Watch for those draw handoffs. They're in the shotgun early. We could possibly see that right here.
Starting off the first play of this game, it's play action, and Ewers, it's going to be a little check down, and that will be for about 4 yards on the play. Successful there to Juan Davis, tight end. As we've already said, especially when it comes to impact players, we're going to look at Quintrevon Wisner, Matthew Golden for this Texas offense. And as we've seen in the matchups with Ohio State, a guy like Jack Sawyer, Caleb Downs, they are incredibly pressure causing, and we'll see how Texas will respond. As it will be a handoff here, moving and going to be down. It will be third down after the handoff there. And we'll see how Texas is going to respond.
Texas and third downs have been pretty good so far, but you're going to love the pressure up front from Jack Sawyer. You brought him up early on, but the secondary for Ohio State have been much improved as the season's gone on with Caleb Downs and Igbenuson, Lathan Ransom, and Denzel Burke. All of them have been so rock solid, but they're going to need to get a big stop here early on third and short.
3rd and 2 here, rolling to his right is Ewers, lofts one up, and it is caught. What a grab there, one-handed. Matthew Golden, a beautiful ball and just perfectly finds inside the arm of Golden to get the first down.
It's a little corner route. How to the outside with Golden. How about the concentration from Golden going up against Igbenusen? But how about that throw from Ewers? That throw has to be so perfect to make it into that one arm of Golden. Phenomenal start for Texas. Way to respond on third down.
Able to get the first, and now a little bit of trickery here as it's handed off and going towards the left sideline, moving out of bounds. Good gain there. Ryan Wingo, the wide receiver, picking that up on the trickful play by Texas.
That's something you're going to see as well. Texas loves to go with a little bit of trickery. You saw it there with the little double end around. You'll see that a couple of times. Jet sweeps. They love to be a little more creative here with the Texas Longhorns and their office under with Steve Sarkisian's team. Watch out though, because they all everything's usually out of shotgun from them, and then they're going to go empty set here.
Moving quickly, Ewers, quick to throw over the middle and batted away. Good job there by Ohio State. They're going to call us third down again quite quickly against this Longhorns offense.
Pressure coming up the middle. Jack Sawyer, I believe, is the one responsible. Take a look at this one again. Coming off the edge, moving to the inside, and using that big right hand, forcing the block there. They're trying to go over the middle to the tight end. This is a spot which trips. Now it's uh, with three receivers right. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next.
Ewers will be a handoff to Fisher, and he will get stopped after seemingly just about a gain of one. It will be fourth down. It's a great job by Ohio State to stymie this Texas offense early.
Yeah, Cody Simon, I believe, is one of the guys in there on the stop. Yeah, it's going to get the initial hit, and then Ohio State just surrounding the running back there on, I think Sarkisian's keeping the offense on the field.
We see the crowd getting fired up for this decision, and it will be Texas. Whether to trick them or to get the playoff, they will attempt on fourth down. Ewers throws, and it is broken up. Great job there. Simon again gets on the play, and an early turnover on downs to get the ball towards Ohio State.
Let's take a look at this play one more time. It's going to be pressure off that right hand side. Sawyer and one of the linebackers coming up to make that play as well. And there's just a low throw from Quinn Ewers. Not the best ball there. And Ryan Day and his defense are off to a very hot start. Able to, after forcing multiple third downs, we'll see what they can do offensively as this game rolls on when we come back.
Welcome back to the Given 5 presentation. College football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel here to take you through it as we just saw turnover on downs, as we've said with Ohio State in its past games against Oregon and Tennessee, just bringing pressure to these offenses, no matter how much kind of trickery they try to do, what they kind of change, ends up being in Ohio State's way, as we will see Will Howard and the Buckeyes try themselves an offensive drive here.
Yeah, it's gonna be this is the offense that everyone is here to see for the most part. Texas, they have their playmakers, but Ohio State through the air have been so dangerous, especially against teams like Oregon and like in their first matchup against Tennessee. You're probably gonna see a lot of play action for them and a lot of balls into the hands of Jeremiah Smith and the Mecca Abuka. Watch out for Jeremiah Smith. He's at the bottom of the screen.
Certainly what they've done in their matchups now. It's a handoff, gets away from the first man, and shoulder moving forward for a good gain there by Quinshon Judkins. The handoff to start off for Ohio State.
Yeah, you talk about the receivers, they love the running backs as well, but they're gonna go quick.
Quick they do go, but going to move forward immediately. First stuffed at the line and then able to push a little bit further. It will be third down after a couple of yards there gained on the handoff.
That's something you don't want to do against this Texas defense. Both of these teams are getting really quick into third down. That's something you can't really afford. But you look at this Ohio State offensive line, 24 different starting combinations of that five-man offensive front, having to really protect Will Howard against this really rock solid Texas defensive front.
See what they do on the first crucial third down. Howard to pass goes quickly outside and gets the connection there to Igbuka for the first down.
Yeah, it's just a quick out route to Emeka Abuka. A lot of pressure coming up the middle. Howard's able to read it and just find that quick out to Abuka, able to get the first down.
Good job by Judkins as well as the back in the backfield, stymieing the attempted blitz there. He's now again in the backfield to the right of Howard. And will be play action and fires forward and gonna get the first down and some more. Carnell Tate. First catch of the day. And again, another quick first down for Ohio State.
They love bringing pressure off the edge, Texas. It's just a play action play. I was almost intercepted by one of the edge rushers, Trey Moore. Just went right through his fingers. Very close play, but Tate finds the hole in the zone, able to get another first down for OSU.
Just a matter of timing on that play. Moore was making a big difference there, but nevertheless, Howard going deep, has a man and incomplete, looking for Smith on the deep ball. Jeremiah Smith saw a couple of those against Oregon early in that matchup, but this one's going to fall and be second down.
The double move there by Jeremiah Smith, so dangerous. It caused Oregon so many problems. Fakes to the outside, cuts back towards the middle. Yeah, I wasn't able to come up with that one. Too a little bit too high, but you'll see that time and time again from OSU. That's not the last time we'll see that today for sure.
Howard getting set, and it will be a handoff to Judkins. He'll be down after about a gain of 4, and get it to be third down for Ohio State. They'll continue moving the chains.
Well, look at this Ohio State offense. They're outscoring teams 35 to nothing in the first quarter of college football playoff games so far. But Texas's defense, 1.8 points per game allowed in the first quarter. So both of them, one team knows how to score in the first, and one team knows how to defend in the first quarter. Watch out for this play, though.
Buckeyes with Henderson on the right of Howard. Quick throw over the middle. Is it complete? And it is for the first down. Igbuka, his second third down catch. And again comes down for a first.
Look at this play from Howard. Runs through the progressions, just goes middle. Nice ball there from Howard. Staying patient, finding Abuka right in the middle of the field. Able to get that first down.
Good job by Igbuka. Taking a bit of a hit there. Always dangerous over the middle. Nevertheless, a first down for the Buckeyes. As Howard again going through progressions and again over the middle and another catch for Igbuka. Almost deja vu on that play as now we pretty quickly have first and goal.
At it again and again with Emeka Abuka. Able to fire it over the middle, get the first down. He's finding that spot right in the middle of the zone time and time again. We'll see that again and again under Chip Kelly, as now they have first down and goal to go.
Absolutely dynamic weapons galore as Howard fakes the handoff, throw over the middle, and incomplete in the hands of Tate, and just could not get that one down. Would have been a quick score, but nevertheless, it is second and goal.
Middle linebacker is going to just go up the middle. They're going to try and stop the run, but the play action was there, and it was just in the hands of Tate. Not really sure how he didn't come up with that one. Barron was the one in coverage. That's got to be corralled in there by Tate. Very lucky that Texas is not losing already in this contest.
Absolutely, it will be second and goal. Smith in motion, and it's a handoff to Judkins, running up the middle, and he is in for the score. One play after Tate is unable to pick it up, Judkins picks him up as Ohio State quickly going up 6-0 on the 9-yard rushing touchdown to Quinn Judkins.
He's made it look so easy throughout this game, breaking tackles, breaks not one, not two, but almost a third. Yeah, Judkins crosses the goal line easily. And now Ohio State, who didn't really have a blemish on that drive other than the drop from Tate. 10 plays, 64 yards, made it look effortless.
Fielding's kick for the extra point is good as Ohio State, their first offensive drive, able to go down the field, and it's Quinn Judkins with the cherry on top to get the score. Ohio State up 7-0. How will Texas respond? We'll see when we come back. Welcome you guys back to the college football semifinals here on Given 5. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel in the matchup between Texas and Ohio State. It's been quite the matchup so far as Ohio State, first time getting the ball, go all the way down the field with Judkins. Very interesting is, before we get back, we do want to tell you guys to like and subscribe. Try to comment or drop down in the chat any questions you have regarding this matchup, regarding, as we said, the NFL playoffs, or just questions to us about anything you feel in particular.
Yeah, I agree. The chat, for some of these big games, the questions y'all have had throughout the playoff have been absolutely miraculous. Um, my favorite one so far, though, we had a question. Someone did bring up pizza once during one of these streams. I think it was the game I had with Penn State. I think someone brought that up, or someone brought up a couple of interesting questions. So you guys in the chat have absolutely nailed it throughout these playoffs. So make sure you guys are writing in the chat, writing any questions, any statements y'all want us to bring up. Anyone you want to shout out, whatever it may be, as long as it is won't get us taken off YouTube, we will do it. I'll tell you that for free.
Absolutely. So you're just moments away here with Fielding's kick over to Texas. That one again, it goes out of play as Texas take over. We saw in their first drive, tried for that trickery and just got stopped, ended up with a turnover on downs. With Ewers in this Texas offense, it's going to be interesting to see whether those risks are the same. Now down 7 points.
I don't think this early on you could really change your strategy that fast. Quinn Ewers, they're able to convert on multiple third downs, they're able to get the ball down the field a little bit, but now this is the time where mistakes have to be minimalized. You're going to see a lot of running the ball now, I think, with Wisner, and I think it starts here on first down.
Ewers is going to pass, is pressured, and is going to be taken down. Boy, the defensive line of Ohio State just absolutely crumbled in on Texas, and that is not the way you want to start. It will be second long.
Pressure coming from left to right and center. Cody Simon, I know, was in there to make the stop. And big JT, number 44 in red, causing problems as well.
Play action. It'll be a quick pass, and it is caught for the first down for Texas. DeAndre Moore Jr. First catch of the night, and that will be a first good response there for Ewers and Texas.
They're going to go fast, but those are the responses you need to see. Quick passes, getting the ball out of the hands of Ewers. They're able to get the ball moving a little bit now as they're able to convert into another first down.
Gonna be a quick screenplay here, and it is successful. Gets past the 50 and just stumbled up. Almost looked like he could go the distance. It was Ryan Wingo. Had a little trickery on that first drive, and now again with a screen here for a big gain.
They're initially going to have Wingo in motion. Ewers goes with a quick screen. Good blocking downfield by that left side of the offensive line. If not for a trip up there by Caleb Downs, Ryan Wingo would have been pretty much gone, but another chance for Texas inside Ohio State territory already.
Another set of quick motion here as Ewers quickly fired that one to Wisner. Just a little low, is unable to pick that one up at the line for a quick 2nd and 10.
Pressure coming from Jordan Hancock as well as multiple players off that left side of the defensive front. You're going to see that time and time again. Sqaure coming off that defensive, coming off the edge, and multiple players up the middle, and multiple other players in the secondary love to cause pressure for this Ohio State defense.
Backs on both sides of Ewers. It is a handoff, and it will be a gain of about 4 on that play. Jaden Blue getting the handoff to make it third and reasonable.
That's what you got to make it. You have to make the game throughout this contest against this good Ohio State defense as manageable as possible in these third down and longs. Watch out for that left side. 2 star receivers for Texas and now a tight end in motion. Watch out for those left side receivers at the top of your screen if you're watching at home. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see them play here as we have a whistle and a penalty.
And it is a false start against Texas. Sent him back 5 yards. And again, as throughout this drive, we've seen a couple of things not click. And that's shown here in the offensive line as we are going to be set back 5 for 3rd and 12.
That type of stuff can't happen in these situations. These mental errors, time and time again, we saw it against with Tennessee. How many mental errors they had, and it cost them dearly. Those are one. Those are one of those mental errors that can't happen.
And as you see with a team like Ohio State, it's going to be tough to recover from as Ewers again taken down for the sack. JT, as we said, getting the job done. Near midfield is where Texas and Ewers is taken down.
We'll take a look at this play one more time. Cody Simon is one of those players who are going to cause problems. He's just going to drop in the middle. Ewers looked like he was looking for a deep crosser on the left side, but how much Ohio State dropped into that deep cover 3 zone. They're able to lock that down and not let anything happen to force the sack.
Punt off by the Longhorns is picked up inside the 10, as after a good job by Ohio State scoring on their opening drive, they'll get the ball back. We'll see how much more they can set the tone here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. We'll be right back. Welcome you back. Give 'em 5 presentation of the college football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State. Before we get back into the game, start with a little question here from the chat. It says, so if OSU makes the finals, the real championship is Northern Illinois, Michigan, right? Robbie, what do you have to say?
Oh my God! First of all, shout out to Ben Ganser, boy, one of the good contributors here on Give 'Em Five Media for asking that question. I think it's a bunch of bogus because, in all honesty, if you remember, Michigan is not the only team to beat Ohio State this year. So I don't really know if that's a fair question because Michigan may have to play a playing game against Oregon if you think about it, because Oregon did beat Ohio State, but then they did lose to Ohio State later on. So I don't know how you do that. Northern Illinois would get slapped by either or. So interesting question though. I actually don't mind that question.
Absolutely fair. But of course, Gantz, I'm not going to give a thought to Oregon as the resident Michigan fan. Nevertheless, starting at their own 8 is Ohio State. Looking to tell you more on the score here is Howard going to go to a quick throw to Smith, who gets out of the first initial tackle. He's going to get taken down after a positive game of 3. Good job by Smith, however, getting at least past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Ohio State's actually going to get away with a penalty here. I thought the referee, who's right there, maybe have missed a block in the back that looked pretty obvious. But Jeremiah Smith able to show that resiliency, that second effort you don't see out of these young wide receivers, able to extend the play and get a couple of yards on first down.
The Buckeyes, just like we've seen out of both these teams, going quick to go back-to-back plays is Howard now with time over the middle, gets the completion to Tate. He's going to get the first down and more. Good job by Colonel Tate, especially after the dropped touchdown he had just to drive to go.
Texas is dropping so much. They're leaving these small drag routes over the middle wide open. And Tate's just going to run a quick one from right to left over the middle. Able to get a good completion, respond well, like you said, after that drop touchdown. Able to help get another first down for OSU.
Play action again here by the Buckeyes. Howard, a couple of pump fakes, now rolling right, trying to get to the line of scrimmage, and he'll get some positive yards. Good job by the quarterback to improvise, get some yards for second down.
Yeah, it looked like he had. I think he was looking for multiple receivers on that left side. You saw that double pump fake. Good coverage there by Texas, dropping a lot of guys in that secondary, able to force Howard to only escape to his right and only get a 2-yard gain on first down.
So it will be 2nd and 8 for the Buckeyes set up at their own 26. Howard back on his right. Is in motion is Henderson, who the handoff is to. And Henderson, a couple of nice blocks there as he gets to the outside corner and moving fast. Gets towards midfield. A good job there. One of the two of the dynamic running back duo gets a big gain all the way towards the 50.
Well, you're going to see something that usually Texas likes to run. It's the end around run. Big block there, actually, by Judkins on the edge. And Travion Henderson able to explode down the sideline with his quick speed. Tate also getting a good block in there as well. But a big play there from OSU, able to move the chains once again.
Fakes a quick screen there as Howard now fires over the middle and making the completion. Boy, close. A lot of heads in there, most of them Longhorns, but it is going to be caught for the first down to the tight end, Sqaure Jr.
Both safeties are going to drop, and Sqaure Jr. is just going to have a hole. Originally looked like a hole right in the middle of the field. I thought he was going to get leveled by one of the safeties. It looked like Liana Lefeu could have had a very big hit on Scott Jr. Luckily, he came out of that unscathed with a big first down once again.
Good job by him keeping the control as now it's a handoff that is going to be met almost immediately. Great job there by Simmons and the Longhorns defense for second down.
Good pressure up the middle. That's what Texas wanted to do, force you up the middle, and we're going to get a penalty. I think this is going to go against OSU. I think it's going to be against something that Travion Henderson might have said. I'm not really sure.
Henderson was the one on the carry.
Ooh, that's not what you want to see.
This call will go against Ohio State
Oh,
as, yep,
yeah.
a
Ref.
lot. Very
Ref.
easy for the referee to make that call just directly in front of Henderson taking a shot towards one of the Texas defensive linemen.
Yeah, well, Chase, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I think that is indeed a penalty. Travion Henderson just not using. Now, in all seriousness, that can't happen. Travion Henderson, all the talent that he has, should not be doing anything like that. Bad break for Ohio State, but Texas now having a chance to make a big defensive stand right before the end of the first quarter.
Absolutely. As it will be faking the handoff is Howard, and he's taken down quickly. That might be the last play of the first quarter as things have entirely changed for Ohio State as now it is a third and very long.
They're gonna try and Judkins. That's a bad decision there from Howard. Judkins had a free lane up the right side. Howard decided to go keeper and kind of be wanting that one back for sure. As they're lining up to run another play. I'm not sure if they run it here though, Chase.
Very interesting. Clock against them in what is a very long situation, but they will get the playoff. Howard goes for it short. Judkins is just going to get back towards midfield. That'll end the first. Not much there. It'll be fourth and long when we come back, and presumably what will be Texas ball. Welcome back to the Given 5 presentation of the college football semifinals. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel here for this matchup between Texas and Ohio State. And a very interesting drive that we'll come back to for the start of the second quarter as the Buckeyes, very, very interesting how they were moving down pretty easily, but all it came down to was a Henderson very bad personal foul, or sportsmanlike conduct rather, that kind of took the wheels off of the well-oiled engine that we saw.
I think it's a good way to put it. I mean, Ohio State driving down the field, doing everything right, and then this is a mistake that just can't happen. And now Texas have an opportunity. I try to take one of the bugs out to get the ball. It'll be deep in their own territory, yes, but they'll get the ball back after not conceding points there to OSU.
Joe McGuire to punt for the Buckeyes. As we said to start off this second quarter, that one leaning left, well tracked and collected at the 9, moving forward and staying on his feet, but losing the ball for a moment. Incredibly lucky break for the Longhorns as Silas Bolden able to hold on to that one and keep it Longhorns ball.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was a fumble for sure, but it also looked like it could have been a much bigger return for Texas. Good hit by, I think it was Curry, the one who hit the ball out. Good play there by the OSU defender. And how about that recognition by Bolden as well? Gotta give him his flowers there, but now Texas, okay field position to start this drive out. It could have been inside the 10, but they're at the 25. So let's see how they respond after the good stop on the last drive.
Tracked the ball well, definitely, as Wisner breaks the initial tackle that was attempted to be made in the backfield, but still met as a good job by Ohio State's offensive line. Ran him in on it for a loss of about 2.
Yeah, that's something that just can't happen. The struggles on first down continue for Texas for the most part. Jack Sawyer causing problems off the edge. But one thing I want to look at the rushing yards number. Texas continuing to struggle to run the ball, only 5 rushing yards in the first quarter and change.
Fakes a screen there as Ewers now goes to it and gonna get just about short of the 30. However, there is a flag that went to Jaden Blue.
I'm not sure what this is for. It's a very weird spot. We'll take a look. Ohio State initially reacted like it was against nigh on them. It's a face mask against the offense. So Texas, it goes for Texas. It goes from bad to worse. It's now going to be about a second and 27 for them now. Let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know.
A little bit of
That's a
contact
that's a better
there.
angle. That's a better angle. It's not that long that he grabs the face mask. I mean, he does grab the face mask. I can definitely agree on that. But it's not. It's like he got it and released it. So I'm not sure about that one from the referees there.
Is
I agree. It's a
unfortunate.
face mask.
Nevertheless, second and 21. Ewers quick to throw over the middle and will get the completion. DeAndre Moore Jr. on that one. And it will be third down and a good amount for this Texas offense just trying to get something going here in the second quarter.
Yeah, for Texas, you just want to make a good amount of these yards back. You're able to get 10 there on second down. Now you have third down. You have bunch left, one receiver right. Interested to see what they do here. Watch out for that bunch concept on the bottom.
Ewers back to throw. Pressured, loses the ball. And Texas able to fall back down on it. Avoided massive disaster there, but nevertheless, still, it's been absolutely all Ohio State tonight in terms of the defensive line, as they again will force a fourth down against this Longhorns team.
Well, OSU is going to rush it. I believe 5. A lot of them coming from the left side. Sonny Styles is going to be the one that forces this ball loose. Igbenusin and Sawyer were there on the pressure on that side as well. And I thought that was a forced fumble and a turnover for sure. Very lucky that Texas recovered that ball.
The punt bobbled a little bit, but recovered by Ohio State as they get back on with it as after what was a poor way of ending the first quarter, a very strong way to start the second. Is we'll be back to see what they can do after this. Back with you for Give 'em Five, presenting college football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State. Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basel, as we've seen a lot of Ohio State's ability both on offense and defense. Texas has stymied them at points, but it's certainly been a lot of Ohio State, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of an understatement, I mean, these two teams, we thought it would be a clash of giants, you'd say. But right now, Ohio State has dominated this game from top to bottom, and without one big mistake, they would be up possibly up double digits. As we have an injury, there's Matthew Golden who's heading down the tunnel. That's a big loss for Texas. That's something you definitely don't want to see if you're a fan of the Longhorns.
Absolutely, things not getting better, as we'll see how the defense will be able to respond towards Howard and the Buckeyes offense, which have already scored once tonight, and as we said, was moving down the field. But after an unsportsmanlike by Henderson, again was backpedaled. We'll see what they do here on this drive, set up at their own 34. Howard rolling to his left, now fires, and towards the 40, that completion there to Tate for 2nd and 4.
They're not using a lot of Jeremiah Smith, which has been interesting. It's been a lot of Carnell Tate so far in this contest. Howard able to roll to his left, find Tate. But Barron going up against Jeremiah Smith has been pretty solid so far. You got to give him his credit. But second down here, watch out for what looks like play action.
Quick little throw for a screen, and it is again Tate. He's able to move the chains and get the first down. Good job there. The Buckeyes, again, already moving quite swiftly with their 8 first downs compared to only Texas has 3.
Yeah, you're gonna bring up my point with the 8 first downs, the 3. But look at that left side with Abuka and Jeremiah Smith lined up next to each other, a bunch left. Tate 4 catches for 39 yards already. He's off to a very hot start for himself.
Howard back to pass. Pressure reaches him, but able to throw it away. Good job on the decision there by Howard. It'll be 2nd and 10.
This is what you love to see out of Will Howard and how much he's progressed over the season. He doesn't want to force anything, goes to the reads, can't find that next pass, and no one seemed open, just goes out and throws it away. And that forces now what looks like a 2nd and 10. But Howard, 10 of 13 for 91 yards. He's only had, I believe, one real incompletion so far. He's been off to a very good start here tonight.
And it is another quick screen that getting Smith involved. He's only able to get about one. However, there is a flag thrown after Smith goes out of bounds.
Let's take a look at this one. I think this is going to go against OSU. This might be a hold. Indeed, it is.
So unfortunate there for the Buckeyes. Second down and longer. Again, it's been penalties that have really been the only thing to stop them against this Texas defense.
Yeah, Texas hyped up for this big time defense, able to continuously stop OSU. When in reality, the thing to stop Ohio State so far, and so one of our I believe someone in chat wrote this. Someone just wrote me this. It's been penalties that's been the only defender that could stop OSU so far. So now they're going to have to try and go deep with a concept play. Watch out for your crossing routes and a possibly corner route towards the bottom of the screen.
2nd and 20. Howard with time. Throws over the middle, gets the completion. And good job getting about more than half the yards needed for the first down. Will
Yeah, it
be
looked like,
third.
yeah, no, you're right. I know you're about to bring up its 3rd and long, but it's Kakmurick who is able to get that play for a big gain of 12. That's what's interesting from Texas. They go quarters, which is cover 4, drop everyone. That leaves so much space in the middle of the field. That's something you can't do because these tight ends love to find the seams and love to go over the middle. But Ohio State also been really good on 3rd downs, 2 for 3 so far.
As now Howard on 3rd down, throwing over the middle and had a man broken up looking for Igbuka. Just could not come down with it. It'll be 4th and 8 as Texas, again, showing definitely why they're in this matchup.
Pressure coming off the quarterback's right side, the defender's left. Again, both of these teams able to do that so well. Mecca Ibuka a little too far out in front of him, but really that was the only window that Howard had. Now Joe McGuire will be on to punt it again. Good stop. Texas trying to come together, find that much needed momentum to try and get back into this.
McGuire to get it off, and let's see where it will bounce. Ohio State waits for it to stop rolling, and inside the 10 it will be. It's not an easy spot for the Longhorns. But nevertheless, we'll see how they'll be able to respond when we come back. Welcome you guys back here from Give 'em 5 for the college football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State. Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basel. It's been pretty interesting to see this matchup so far. Texas is going to get the ball back, but what we've seen out of Quinn Ewers in this offense, it's leaving a lot to be desired, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of nothing from Texas so far. Someone in the chat, shout out to the chat. Can we see Arch Manning soon? Maybe, but Texas not really using him in the playoff causes me to bring up the idea that I don't think we see that. What we've seen so far is second half Quinn Ewers, not first half of a game of Quinn Ewers, where it's been missed throws, getting sacked, misreads, etc. That's what we've seen so far. As this game progresses, we need to see something change from this Texas offense, whether it be starting to use the ground game more if possible, quicker throws. That's what Texas has been able to use so far is those quicker passes, screen passes that have worked. We need to see more of that if Texas wants to get any success going. I guess it's really solid Ohio State defense. And the pressure they're coming from all over the field, particularly on the left-hand side of the defensive front with Jack Sqaure, Igbenusin, when they've come off with the cornerback blitz. It's looked so good so far. So I think if Texas can start to get the ball moving a little bit more, get the ball out quicker, try to utilize the middle of the field because the linebackers are dropping so much for Ohio State. If they could start to use the middle of the field, I think that'd be possibly the new best friend for Texas.
Absolutely, they do run here as Wisner gets a good gain. Going to be just a couple yards short of the first on that run. Another interesting thing to note about Quinn Ewers and Texas is obviously with a lot of game left, there's many things to think about, but Quinn Ewers expected to enter the NFL draft. It's going to be interesting how that dynamic plays, especially here down and being overpowered by Ohio State so far. But nevertheless, 2nd and 3 for Texas. Another handoff, and that one is going to be close, and it will fall forward as Wisner for the first down. So 2 quick runs, and they're already moving for a first.
Look at the pressure they have in the box. 8 guys stacked the box. Wisner cutting it back to the right. One brief juke move. And just move his way forward for the first down. Keeping it simple, keeping it basic. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Texas need to keep keeping it simple for themselves, and they'll find some success.
They go play action here. Ewers fires high and incomplete. A big hit on Helm. Good job, high pointed that ball, but just could not come down with it after the good piece there by Ohio State.
Not gonna lie, I like the play action call. Something that no one really expected. But guess what else? Gunnar Helm didn't expect was that big hit from Sonny Styles. Look at that massive hit. Sarkisian calling for targeting. I'm not sure, Chase. Kind of didn't have a really good angle on that one. But Gunnar Helm, a guy who caught a key touchdown in that previous game against Arizona State, taking a massive hit. Now it looks like the referees. Not sure that's about.
It's not play for the moment.
Sarkisian.
Sarkisian still arguing.
I think they're. Are we gonna see a review? Is the real question. You can't challenge this, obviously. But I think this is something that could be discussed. I don't think they're gonna call it here. Sonny Styles, as mentioned, the one that got away with it.
One of many of this very high esteemed Ohio State offense. As you see, the game clock reset to 25 seconds, or play clock rather. It looks like we will have 2nd and 10 here for Texas at their own 20. And Ewers' quick throw as taken down quickly by Hancock is Moore, but gets a couple of yards there for 3rd down.
Oh, we do have an injury. Not really sure who that is, but go back to that play with Jordan Hancock. He didn't. Oh, that's JT. Big 44 in the middle. Let Chase maybe try to pronounce that name. We'll talk about that in a second, but that's not good. We'll take a look at the play on the opposite side. Oh, the teammate I think just rolls over the calf. That's not good for JT. We'll check on his injury status, and we'll see what the next play will look like when we return.
We welcome you back for the college football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State here on Give 'em 5. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel. Going to come back from an injury timeout, as we said. JT Tuimoloau, big impact player for Ohio State on the defensive line, and just an unfortunate friendly fire that we saw. So we hope he's all right. We see him walking over to the tent here, and Texas going to get back on, see what the offense can do with now a hampered Ohio State defense.
So first of all, shout out for you to do nailing that. I believe nailing that name pronunciation. You guys can write down in the comments if Chase nailed that or not. But now we've
Or tell
lost
me if I'm
two.
wrong. Let me know.
We've already seen two big players go down: JT for OSU and Matt Golden, if you remember earlier. So interesting to see what type of impact these other players can make.
Blue in motion as Ewers goes left side and incomplete. Could not connect there with Ryan Wingo as fourth down and a little bit of argument there on the pulling of the jersey of Wingo.
Yeah. Sarkeesian's got an argument. I don't think it's a penalty. It's a 50-50 for me. It's a lot of jersey pull. Kind of letting that go in a playoff game, but I don't know. It's a very 50-50 play, but Texas getting stopped again.
Obviously, was quite upset with the non-targeting call earlier, and another penalty that they were upset about. But nevertheless, punt taken, and Ohio State to have it. As again, we'll see what they can do. Only scored 7 points, as that's all that's been scored between these two teams. But Ohio State still has looked much stronger in all facets.
Yeah, defensively, Ohio State looks really sound. They've done everything right for the most part defensively. They've done everything that they've needed to do. These assignments have been nailed by them so far. Texas, other than that one blunder on defense in that opening drive, have looked rock solid as well. It's just that their offense has not been able to respond so far. And Will Howard, who has played significantly better than Quinn Ewers so far, is back under center on first down.
Set up at their own 35. The handoff to Henderson is met at the line. Henderson, of course, with the unsportsmanlike that stymied one of the offensive drives of Ohio State, as that, again, has been a massive thing with the Buckeyes so far, as the penalties have been hurting them. As again, a little shaken up there is member of the Longhorns defense.
We see JT running on the opposite sideline, trying to see if he can come back, trying to do some explosiveness drills, trying to see if he can come back. Showing a little bit of discomfort still from the looks of it. So we might be able to see him later. JT leading the team in sacks with 11.5 and 18.5 tackles for a loss, leading both the team in both categories. As we see the injured player now is Bill Norton, the nose tackle, number 15. So make sure to stick with us for halftime as well for the Given 5 Media halftime report, going over the entirety of our first half here, as well as a possible what's to come in the NFL playoffs. I know Chase, his Buffalo Bills are ready to go. They play the Broncos this weekend. I know you're ready to go with Josh Allen, ready to put on a show once again, but we'll talk about that more at halftime. This is back to you, my friend.
Absolutely. As it'll be 2nd and 10 for Ohio State. Again, not getting much on that first play to Henderson. As now they go Judkins on the toss, and he will slide through a couple of tackles and get past the 40. But there is a flag on the play. Let's see what this is.
Interesting there. We've seen a penalty on this. It's on the offensive, it's another offensive holding. So it goes from a 3rd and very short to a 2nd and 20. Look at this again. Yeah, that's a hold. I don't think there should be really much of an argument there. It's going to go against number 70 on Ohio State. That is Josh Farrier, the right tackle, the one conceding the penalty there.
Absolutely correct. No argument on that one. As it will be 2nd and 20. As we've seen, not a heavy dosage of penalties for either team in particular, but they have just been ones that have been setting them back such a high amount of yards. As now 2nd and 20. Howard back to pass. Again over the middle. Finds Scott, who will get past the 30 once more, but it will still be 3rd and long.
Yeah, both teams continuing to use those short routes over the middle. Scott Jr. this time, who took a big hit, showing a little bit of the discomfort, it looks like, after the play. But this is a big stand needed for the Texas defense. They've conceded multiple big plays when dropping back some of their secondary players. Looks like they're going to go man coverage here. Watch out the bottom of the screen for Tate. He's been the most used receiver so far in this game for either team.
3rd and 13, and
Penalty.
Howard expects that one as there was a flag thrown. We'll see what the call is here. Pre-snap penalty. Again, killing both of these teams. We'll see which one it's on. It is a false start on Ohio State. Continuing to pester themselves. Pushing them back once more. 3rd and 18 for the Buckeyes. Trying to get over the hump. Only scored one touchdown today, one between both teams. As we reach a little over 6 minutes left in this first half. 3rd and 18. Howard fires left side and see if he got his feet down. They say yes. Carnell Tate makes the close catch on the sideline. But nevertheless, it will be 4th down. As stopping them is the Longhorns.
Big stop there for Texas. I talked about the chance of getting that ball to Tate. Again, the continuing of no Jeremiah Smith has been something that we might have to address as this game goes on. As Ohio State is able to punt this one away. Look, the collision at the line of scrimmage.
Very interesting to see. Again, if Texas will be able to respond, we'll get it at about their own 9. We come back for Game 5 between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns. Welcome you guys back from Give 'em 5, Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel for this college football semifinals between the Texas Longhorns and Ohio State Buckeyes. As we will see what the Longhorns will be able to do with the ball again. As we saw in that last offensive drive, stopped on a play that was pretty close with PI, not called, and even earlier on that, targeting. Is there any sense that Texas is slowly clicking more into possibly getting into this game?
I think so. I mean, you got to start feeling something now that Texas is slowly but surely growing into this. We're taking a look at one of our previous hits as well. Not sure. Oh, this is the Golden injury from earlier. We'll see if he returns. He's back on the sideline though, which is a positive. But Texas, I think, starting to slowly grow into this game. I'm saying slowly as saying lightly, but Texas having a chance now to respond to their nice stop on first down.
Quick throw out by Ewers. That's been a lot of what they've been able to do, just go short with it, and they are able to get the completion to Isaiah Bond, his first of the night, and that will be second and short as a result.
Like I said, those short passes, whether it be a screen, quick pass over the middle on a drag, comeback, whatever it has to be, have to get the ball out quick. You have to get the ball moving down the field. This is what Texas is starting to do, and now they're starting to possibly gain some more traction here on offense.
Ewers a little flip, and it is a first down for Blue, I believe. Getting that carry. And a quick little first down for the Longhorns as we tick to the last handful of minutes of this first half.
I thought for a second there, I don't know if you saw it, but it looked like there was a little miscommunication there with Blue and Ewers, but regardless, able to extend the play, get some good traction, able to break a tackle, lower that shoulder, and get the first down there. Good work.
Certainly an awkward little toss as just a routine handoff, this one up the gut. Gonna get some nice yardage there to make it about second and mid.
See, this is how that play's supposed to look. With the easy handout up the middle. Just get these medium gains, extend the drive, burn clock. This is what Texas has to be doing now as this game progresses.
Continue to move here on second and 5. Ewers has time going deep, looking down for more. Unable to reach him. Hancock on the play to make it third and 5.
I'm hoping we can get a replay of this because it looked like there's a little bit of jersey grabbing mid route. Hancock, from the looks of it, don't think we're going to get one, but that's something that these Ohio State DBs get away with a lot. It's a lot of jersey pulling. If you saw that in certain moments throughout the season, where jersey pulling turned out to look like there was a myth.
1 for 5 on third down is Texas as they go here as fired over the middle, incomplete, right into the hands of Bond, but just bobbled it and just another microcosm of what we've seen out of Texas when things just start to get clicking. Unfortunately, just unable to get out of their own way as this causes fourth down.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of concentration there from Bond, a little bit of contact as well from Hancock. But another stop by this Ohio State defense, regardless. They've done it so well so far.
Fair catch near the 26, and that is where Ohio State will begin. As again, just been able to do exactly what's been needed to stay in front. But unfortunately, offensively, have also had their struggles in terms of penalties and fully clicking as a unit.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. I mean, you look at the QB comparison early on. Will Howard has been the better quarterback than Quinn Ewers. I think we could both agree with that 13 of 17 for 125 yards. Quinn Ewers not even up to 100 yards yet. But look at the Texas defense and how much they've improved. They've only allowed 46 yards here in the second quarter. So they're starting to grow into the game themselves. The issue is the offense has not. So Texas defense can do all they want, but they're going to continue to need to get stops as the game progresses.
And they do get a stop here as Judkins gets stuffed at the line, as we see in this stadium, absolutely filled with Longhorns fans. And they understand the defense if efforts as another stop there for second and 10.
Time and time again, where you're going to see that start to not be as effective, those runs up the middle with Judkins or Henderson. But the way that defensive front can be, despite it being injured, the way that Texas defensive front can be, they're starting to gain that confidence. And if you're Ohio State, that's something you can't have happen.
Howard goes for a quick throw for Judkins, had it tipped and almost close to a turnover. But nevertheless, as we've said, the Longhorns getting in motion, making it third and 10 quite quickly.
Pressure going to come off the edge with Simmons. Big number 11 just gets his fingertips on this one. Looking for Judkins in the flat. Not able to find it. It was almost intercepted. You said that really well. But Colin Simmons off the edge, almost forcing a turnover there. But he forces a big third down, something Texas needs to continue to do as this game goes on.
See how Ohio State responds. Will be pass attempt here for Howard, but he won't get anything off as he is taken down at the 20 and just routine by the Longhorns. As soon as we say it, that the defense doing their job, just show us time and time again as they make it fourth and long.
We'll take a look at this one here. You have that one-on-one coverage on the outside with Jeremiah Smith. That safety's going to come up and deny a deep crosser on the right side. That was going to go underneath Jeremiah Smith. And that offense just has not been there for the last minute or so. And that will take us, Chase, to the 2-minute warning.
Absolutely, their first sack of the night is Texas as they look to in these final moments try to get something going, at least for this first half. Between Ohio State and Texas, we'll be back. Welcome you guys back to this college football semifinals matchup here on Given 5. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel. Ohio State and Texas in what has been an offensive stymied game, but as we said on that last drive, Texas's defense absolutely clicking right now, and we'll see if the Longhorns offense has time to catch up. absolutely is in motion. A little bit of motion there for Texas, but it is a handoff that is not going to get much. And of course, like we said, just the Longhorns not looking like themselves, as we said, have had these dominant first halves and first quarters and whatnot, but clearly not showing it tonight and not showing much more confidence there as it'll be second and 10. Fakes the toss there was Ewers and now fires just out of play as it's almost immediately third down and 10 in what should be an incredibly crucial drive for any sort of Longhorns momentum.
For Ohio State on defense.
Ewers steps up in the pocket. He's going to run and incredibly close to the line. See if they give it to him. Initial spot says yes, first down. Strong play by Ewers. Just trying to keep his team in it. A little over a minute left to go. First down going quickly now as clock finally stopped. 101 as they put it. Again, just to be seeing good poison presence by Ewers in the pocket, which we haven't seen a lot this game.
Well, my mic may have been out, but I just realized that now. But no, what isn't out? The fight and energy from Quinn Ewers, and that should is a bad spot. I think Ewers is short, and I think a lot of people watching this will agree with me on that. I'm not sure this is a timeout or a review. I don't know if you got that, Chase, if this is a review or not. It looks like this is turning into a review.
Certainly will appear that way as that's definitive evidence right there that the call was incorrect initially. As yes, there are an official review for the first down. And now when it comes back, and it will be fourth down, if all things go the way we believe, it's going to be very interesting the choice for Texas, especially in the spot they are right now.
I think they have to go for it. I think this is a no-brainer. It's fourth and about 3 inches or so. I think with the way this game is going and the lack of conversions by both teams, something has to change. And I think it's going to be Texas who has to be the one to do it. They're struggling on offense. They haven't been really been able to move the ball. This has to be a go for it on fourth down situation. I know they're 0 for 1, but they went with the pass. Fourth and short, there's a good shot. This is a QB run for a very, very, very short gain, but it's a first down. That's something that needs to happen. Was we're gonna get our official ruling now.
Referee's done convening as we await the result. And it is officially reversed as it will be fourth down, as we said. And we'll see what they do here
So the question
on
for
fourth
me
and
right
one.
now, is when does the clock run? Because this is a very iffy situation, especially with college rules. But Texas, 55% on fourth down conversions, and Arch Manning's in the game for this play, Chase.
Very interesting call here by Steve Sarkisian going with the backup. The choice is to run it with Manning, and he will get enough for the first stumbling, goes down, loses the football. Down on top of it, see what the official ruling is.
It looks like they're going to mark him down, and they're going to give him the first down.
So a good job by Manning, and the choice by Sarkisian pays off.
Look at it again. I don't know actually. I mean, this is a tough one because from one angle, he doesn't have full possession of the ball, but it's still in his hand. The line judge right there to make that call though. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get a review here or a timeout. I'm not sure. I think this is a very good chance this could be reviewed. I don't think it'll be overturned. It'll be very tough to overturn this. But look at it one more time. Knee hit. The knee's not hit yet, but the arm is down. I forgot about that left arm. So the arm is down before that ball starts moving under that right arm of Ewers. So he's running down that side, that right side, arms down, knees down, ball's technically still in possession. I think this is going to stand as a big first down for the Longhorns.
Again, as we said, a risky move by Texas, going with that QB run, going with the backup in Arch Manning. But like we said, as we've seen, looks like it would take a lot to overturn it. And as the Longhorns fans and team as one, just hoping that this in some way or another can hopefully continue to build momentum here in the end of the first half.
I love the play call, though. I mean, you got to go back to that as well. The play is confirmed. So, Chase, I think I'll be quiet and send this back to you.
On the 42 of Ohio State, as Ewers fires left side, has a man open, breaking a tackle, gets all the way inside the 20 and out of bounds. Great play there. Silas Bolden on the catch and run. And now things are quickly turning the Longhorns' way.
Yeah, how about the second effort from Silas Bolden, able to spin out of the first tackle, get an extreme amount of extra yards. Now, Texas, for the first time all day, are driving into the red zone.
Placed at the 18. Takes the pass off to Wisner and immediately batted down. Ruled incomplete. Sqaure quickly tried to jump on it as Ohio State trying to shut down that momentum that we've seen collect in the last couple of plays by Texas.
Yeah, still no JT Tuimoloau, but they fake it. They fake the reverse. They try to go with that slip screen to Moore, but it's just not there. And that defensive pressure coming off the edge continues to be there with Blue in the backfield. Look at that right side as we're gonna get whistles. I think we're gonna get a timeout by Ohio State now.
Their first of the half. Both teams left with two. As again, we've seen with Ohio State getting by, but if Texas is able to continue moving in this drive and into the second half, it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly Ohio State can pick it up and try to match the Longhorns' momentum.
Definitely. And with the end of the half nearing, I don't remember who gets the ball to start the second half. I is it?
I believe it's Ohio State.
I believe it's Ohio State too, which makes this drive even more crucial for Texas. Because if you go out, and we'll take a look at it real quick. Yeah, Texas started with the ball and turned it over on downs. So it makes this drive even more important for the Longhorns.
More in motion for Texas. Ewers back to throw, going left side, has a man. It is caught, touchdown. Blue with the catch. And just like that, in a couple of moments, Jaden Blue able to make it within 1 point with less than 30 seconds left to go in this first half.
It's a wheel route out of the backfield from Blue. I was saying it a little bit moment ago or so that Blue, not that much as good of a runner as a receiver out of the backfield. I was going to say that before the last play. The kick is good. Texas at a desperate point, needing a response, and they're able to find a way to get one. What a big time moment there for the Longhorns in this contest. Let's break down this play real quick. So you're going to see Blue. He's going to start offset left of Ewers. He's going to run just a quick wheel route to the left side. Cody, I believe one of the linebackers, I don't know if it's Styles or Simon. It's looked like Styles is supposed to be on the coverage. And a good breakout of the route by Blue, beating Styles. The initial route on that same side was with Ryan Wingo, and Blue able to just find some extra space, extra green grass, and help put 6 on the board for the Longhorns right before the end of the first half.
Great job, as you said, by Texas as they're celebrating, moving down onto the field. Exactly what the Longhorns needed. And with two timeouts, 29 seconds. I believe we had this exact conversation when it was Ohio State versus Tennessee. Be interesting what you do coming down to these final moments, especially after your opponents gain some traction as we reach the end of the first half.
We did have that
Go right for a
conversation
touchback.
as that ball goes go for a touchdown. We did have that same conversation. I don't remember if it led to anything. Do you remember?
I believe they
Did they go for a field
moved
goal?
it down just for a couple of runs, but I don't know if it ever got down to a field goal.
Yeah. But then again, the difference there was that game was what? It was a very close first half, and then Ohio State exploded later on. That's what it was, right? Is that what it was?
Absolutely. They had a dominant first quarter and then
First quarter.
Tennessee
Yeah.
trickling in the second quarter, and then by the time the second half, Ohio State showed that they were the better competitor of the two. Nevertheless, Mike tried to look to do it again as Howard pressured, but able to get it off. Henderson behind the line of scrimmage, now moving forward, gonna get the first down and an open field of grass past midfield. Henderson, he's gonna go all the way for a touchdown, and just like that, Ohio State, like we said, gets it done. Travion Henderson, the star, with 13 seconds left in this half.
Wow, wow, wow again. This play looks like it's a broken play from the start. Howard getting pressured off both edges. Travion Henderson able to get into the flat, go out there and make a play, break a couple of tackles, just find the open space. And when you see him in open field, you're not stopping this man. What a big time play by a big time player. And Travion Henderson, when they kind of needed him most, right before the end of the half, able to help restore Ohio State's lead. Did that go in? It did. Okay. Scared me there for a second, but the extra point is good. What an end to this first half. We've had absolutely nothing happen for what, 29 of the 30 minutes for pretty much of this first half? And then inside the last 30 seconds or so, for 30 seconds or so, we've already had more points in those 30 seconds than the majority in the entire first half.
Absolutely. And like you said with Henderson, lost his temper a little bit earlier in this game, had the unsportsmanlike conduct, comes back, and when it matters most, Ohio State able to score with just about 13 seconds left in this half. And as we said, get the ball back to start the second. And of course, the same thing can't be said exactly for Texas, who, when finally building that momentum, finally getting points on the board, are now looking at once again the same amount of points in deficit as they saw for, as you said, almost the entire first half.
Let's look at this quick stat here. 20-yard plays in the college football playoff. 16 of them over 20 yards. If you look at this total yards numbers, drastically increased over the last minute or so. 236 now for OSU as whistles are going to come. Ohio State called a timeout. So I don't know what that's about. Possibly going for an onside kick or something along those lines. I'm not really sure what that was about.
Very interesting decision. As, again, like we said, not too much time left. Only two timeouts for Texas. But again, in the situation where Ohio State's to get the ball back, it would almost feel like giving up opportunity if they're not to try something.
Yeah, I think it's a fair way to put it. I mean, Ohio State and Texas, neither of them have had couple of big opportunities up until the last 30 seconds or so. I mean, Ohio State having that one early drive, which led to a touchdown, then nothing happens. No one getting those big opportunities. And then Texas gets one really quick right before the end of the half. And then Ohio State gets one even quicker, like right away. And now, is this one's going to be fair caught? We'll see where they spot this. I don't know if it's at the 20 or 25 in college for this rule. Texas is in a really weird spot because much less time now than what Ohio State had. I don't know if you go for this or not. It's a very weird predicament.
Absolutely. And as we said, the box score talking about Ewers going 10 for 19 so far in this first half. Obviously, we've seen him and this Texas offense elevate a little bit more as we've reached the end of this first half. And we'll see if they can continue to keep clicking like as they did in that touchdown drive just moments ago. But then we'll just go for a quick run here as Wisner breaks a few tackles, falls down, still on their own side as timeout is taken with 7 seconds left to go.
So the question is, first of all, big play on first down. You gotta mention Wisner, who hasn't had the greatest half ever, but he's still doing all right. I don't know what you run here because 7 seconds is not as much time as you think it is. So could they? I think they could go over the middle, but if they do find a quick play over the middle, they got to go down right away. They can't mess around, try and go for extra yards because if they do that, they risk not having a chance to go for a field goal at all. So very interesting sequence of events. You got to expect Ohio State dropping into cover three, cover four. It's a very weird play call for both teams. I would not be surprised if Ohio State calls timeout again.
We will see as the decision is Texas able to get it off and looking to the sideline incomplete. There is a flag on the play, however, with 2 seconds left to go. We wait the call here.
Wonder what this is for. It's a defensive hold. So we first down again, but they're only gonna get 5 yards. I don't even know what you try here.
Jersey Duggan there on Ryan Wingo. And as we've said throughout this game, a couple of calls that were missed that certainly made things tougher on Texas. So now again with 2 seconds left to go, timeout called. Try to finalize the decision here for the end of this first half.
Yeah, there's not much you really can do. It was actually Ohio State who called the timeout. We're looking at Will Stone, 0 career field goal attempts. I believe they have a new kicker um, on Texas now. Not really sure why. But man, what a weird end to this half. We were not expecting this with the way it was going. Not at all. Oh, the Longhorns actually there. News to me. I did. It's been suspended from a couple of games this season. So now you're probably going to see heavy prevent defense, a lot of secondary players. They're actually rushing four, which respect, but we'll see what they do.
Ewers able to get away, throws it up and almost picked off, broken up. Multiple defenders on it. That will end the half. As we said, Ohio State will receive it when we come back between this matchup. Ohio State leads Texas 14-7 as we reach halftime Chase Caridi with Robbie Basel for this college football semifinal. Give him 5 presentation. Welcome you guys to the Give 'em 5 halftime report for this college football semifinal between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns in a game that was the most interesting in the final 2 or so minutes of the first half. Very interesting, a lot of stats going way higher after that moment, but Robbie, speaking of the stats, what are we looking at in terms of what teams did well and what teams kind of suffered in certain aspects?
Yeah, there's a couple. We'll take a look at the first half stats. You look at the players that we've watched out for so far with Howard and Ewers. We'll take a look at the comparison of those two. Will Howard doing significantly better so far in this first half, and of course, you have to add on that big Travion Henderson touchdown run that we're taking a quick look at now. We're broken play, it felt like, and Howard able to continue his reads and find Henderson for the 75-yard touchdown. Judkins and Henderson not really able to get much going on the ground so far. On the flip side for Texas, of course, have had the injury to Golden, so they haven't had their number one receiver really in action tonight. So Quinn Ewers trying to find those other receivers. More Jr. has been his leading receiving target so far. But right now, Chase, it has been a struggle on offense for Texas, other than that drive right before the end of the first half. And to which, I mean, they got 7 points. We didn't, at points throughout the half, we didn't think they were going to score at all. So they're able to get that touchdown. They're going to have to defend to start the second half. And right now, Ohio State lead could really start to control the rest of this contest here in the second half.
Right, you are. We saw in that drive by Texas some semblance of the team that we said we've seen against Arizona State and Clemson in those first halves, but just unfortunately, just when they get that piece that really starting to elevate their game, as we said, the Henderson pass on what was just a simple little check down after getting pressured was Howard and just taken to the house. Just absolutely not what you want to see if you're the Longhorns. And just the way that it is, as you said, Texas got a lot on its plate. And also, something we got a lot of this weekend is NFL playoffs. Something that I've mentioned a couple of times already in this broadcast. As a Bills fan, it's just something on my mind. I don't know. And against the Broncos, I want to say I'm not the most confident I could possibly be in because as we've seen these past couple of weeks, the Broncos are certainly not a team to kind of sleep on.
They're definitely not. And the way Bo Nix has been able to, after the slow start Bo Nix had, he didn't have a passing touchdown until he played the Jets, which I feel like everyone's done that this season at some point. But he's able to, since that Jets game where the Jets played a very low scoring affair, and the Broncos were able to get out of annoying adversity and win. That's been their theme all season. They've lost so many pieces in recent seasons to trades and whatever. They just traded Jerry Judy to the Browns this season, and now their receiving core has been fantastic. And now they're in a playoff game, which they'll probably get decimated by the Buffalo Bills because that's just how this works. But the Buffalo Bills, they deserve their flowers as well because of they going into the season, you trade Stefan Diggs, they lose multiple pieces in the secondary, and they're able to still piece together a roster that's able to come out and win over a dozen games. I projected them to go win 8 games, and they've won over a dozen. Yeah, that I think that's been my probably my worst prediction this season's been the Bills. Has to be the Buffalo Bills. The Jets, at least they're like people thought they could be bad. Buffalo, we didn't know what we were going to get out of them at any point in the season. But Josh Allen throwing himself into an MVP candidate in the MVP race, that's something that really helped elevate the team. Because without Josh Allen, this team's a 5 or 6 win team. Josh Allen, with his legs, with his incredible arm, has really been able to help out the Bills. And I think that's the big reason they win against the Denver Broncos. But I almost forgot to address this game. It's tomorrow night. The Ravens and the Steelers. What a weird game that's going to be. It's going to be on Amazon Prime Video because the NFL's evil. And I'm not against Amazon. I just think this game should not be on Amazon. But what are we looking out for in this game? For me, it's Lamar Jackson against Russell Wilson. You think this is Ravens against the Seahawks in a Super Bowl, but no, it's the Ravens and the Steelers, another divisional matchup. Again, the Ravens won very recently. So the Ravens with all the momentum chase, I think they win this game, honestly, by a good amount of points. But what do you think? with this big contest between these two AFC North foes.
I mean, absolutely, this will be the third matchup of the year, and in the first one we saw, as we've seen in many years, the Ravens just somehow turn into right into a pumpkin when they face the Steelers, but they kind of shed that kind of belief and that kind of mantra when they face them later in the season, as Lamar again put another MVP-like performance on the line. As we've said with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, both these two players absolutely elevating their teams to the best they could be. And just most interestingly to me, how the Steelers will respond, because in these past couple of weeks, things have truly not gone their way, whether it was against the Ravens or against the Bengals, a team that, again, talk about MVP candidates, even out of the playoffs. Joe Burrow had a sensational regular season. So the Steelers going up against them tough opponents coming into the playoffs, like definitely against a rival they're experienced with, but I believe that just the tandem of Jackson and Henry along with the receiving core that gets the job done. Of course, they'll be without Zay Flowers, which I think will have a pretty strong impact. But I just believe that the Steelers are just not completely there with Russell Wilson at the helm and just the way that the team is set up right now.
Real quick, 30 seconds remaining in our break before we send it to one more break for you guys. Out of the NFC games, we talk about Packers Eagles and what that game could be like. What is the game you want to be watching out for in the NFC on Wild Card Weekend?
I know we've mentioned the Commanders and the Buccaneers, and like you said, the Eagles and the Packers, but one game we have not mentioned is Rams of Vikings. That is a matchup that, as we called that Vikings game, it was interesting to see how that team was able to kind of fizzle out of the regular season, to put it lightly. And as we said, Sam Darnold, when the lights are brightest, we saw in that last week, will he be able to respond to that performance or just respond in a way that gives them any confidence, not just in the playoffs, but as him as the quarterback option in the future? Has a lot of expectations. It's going to be interesting to see how we'll be able to back them up as they are away in Arizona, actually, as
That's right.
that is the situation. As of course we understand the wildfires, it is a very devastating situation, and it's going to be interesting at a neutral site how this matchup is played.
We'll see how that matchup is played, and we'll see how our matchup concludes. This has been the Given 5 Media halftime report. The second half, just moments away.
We'll give you guys the kickoff to the second half of this college football semifinal. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel here to take you through it. The Ohio State Buckeyes going to start off. They were leading 14-7 against the Texas Longhorns. And Bizzle, what are you thinking is going to come out of this first drive? Of course, we saw some highlights from both teams, and Ohio State on top, as we've seen pretty much all half.
Well, I think there's a lot that we can see, and we've seen glimpses of what both offenses can really do, but it's been the defenses that have put on the biggest shows so far. I mean, Jack Sawyer off the edge for OSU. On the opposite side, the defensive front of Texas has been able to step it up as the game has progressed. What we're going to need to see progress is the offenses, obviously. I mean, we've had two main plays cause all the yards for OSU for the most part. And on the flip side, Texas has had what one complete drive. So we've seen two or three glimpses of brilliance and then nothing else. We need to see that nothing else turned into, yeah, let's see the ball be moved a little bit. The clock continue to run. These teams start to get the ball moving down the field a little bit because if we don't see that, we might be here a while. So which is honestly not what we're hoping for because we felt that before. But these two teams ready to go at it. Both of these coaches, some of the best in the game. They have to be able to rally the troops, bring it all together. Because if they don't do it for the next 30 minutes, one of these teams is going home and one of them is going to the national championship.
That is correct against Notre Dame, who won last night against Penn State. That'll be on January 20th. Of course, we'll have coverage here on Give 'em 5. Hopefully, everyone will be there to enjoy that big game. And between both of these teams and Notre Dame, it's seemingly going to be interesting if both these teams, or all three of those teams rather, all have kind of that same similar performance that they've had in these semifinals. But nevertheless, we're going to return here to the Cotton Bowl at AT&T Stadium. As we said, Ohio State leading 14-7. We will see the Buckeyes to start out with the offensive drive. And like we said, with players like Will Howard and the running backs, Judkins and Henderson, getting it clicking when it mattered most. And I assume that's what we're going to see as we come out for this second half.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to expect because you're. This is the point of the game where Ohio State's going to have to run the ball with Judkins and Henderson, get the clock moving, get this game flowing a little bit more. And when they can run the ball so well with two talented runners like Judkins and Henderson, that's when Ohio State puts that knife into your throat and that ends the game. When they can be able to run the ball so well with two talented runners like Judkins and Henderson, that's what we're probably going to be seeing just a couple moments.
Absolutely. Will Stone to kick it off for the Longhorns. And it will be collected for the fair catch. Again, as we're showing up here again, just absolutely improbable what we saw out of Henderson. Got good blocks and just completely found the correct seam to go all the way. And an absolute momentum killer just moments after Texas was able to tie up the game. We'll see if Henderson and the rest of Ohio State looks to continue to do so in this matchup. First play from scrimmage of the second half on its way. Howard with Henderson on his left. Takes a snap, play action, fires and finds Egbuka for the first down. Goes out of bounds just ahead of the 40. And just like that, a quick first down completion.
And it's one of these good old crossing, deep dragger. You could call it a crosser to a Emeka Ibuka, who did not have a great first half. He didn't have a good first half. Jeremiah Smith did not have a good first half. It was really Tate that was getting a lot of the touches. But this is a moment where Texas can start to be exploited a little bit, and you can start to see more chances for Ibuka, more chances for Jeremiah Smith.
Handoff to Henderson and taken down near the 45. Good gain there by the back who had a pretty well roller coaster of a first half going from an unsportsmanlike conduct call that stuffed a drive of theirs to being the one who scored the 75-yard touchdown to put them up set 14-7 as they are right now. Makes it 2nd and 3. Again, like we said, Smith, Buka, all these playmakers. See what they'll be able to do in the second half. However, it is just another handoff to Henderson, and they'll get the first down past midfield as Ohio State having no problem moving down into Texas territory.
If you're Texas, this is the worst possible start to this second half. You may have been able to limit Jeremiah Smith and company so far in the receiving game, but if the little bit of effort that Ohio State can use to run the ball so far continues, it could be a very long second half for Texas. This is not what you were hoping for if you're the Longhorns.
Play action for Howard. Takes a bit of a hit, and he's intercepted. The takeaway by the Longhorns. And just as we say it, the defense does its job. David Benda doing it, and that is more than what you want if you are Texas and if you're Ohio State. The first real mistake we've seen from Howard today.
Well, that linebacker is just going to initially drop towards Howard, but then drops back into coverage. Intended receiver looked like it was a Buka trying a little bit of a hook route or like a comeback type of move. But Howard hit as he threw pretty much. Now Texas able to try and take advantage.
Could throw out to, I believe, Wisner, and he will get the first down. And as we said, players like Wisner, like Blue, and Quinn Ewers himself, despite some of the statistics not looking the best, were able to really click the most when it came down to the end of that first half. And as you said, if they're able to keep that momentum, it'll be very interesting what happens in the second half as Ewers set up with Texas on the 40, fakes a screen and just hands off to Wisner, breaks the initial tackle, and will get about one to make it second and 9.
I don't hate the play with going with the fake, but one quick note that I want to bring up before we see the next play is JT Tuimoilau is back into the game on the edge. He looks like he's wearing a wrapping around his left foot ankle area. So definitely something to keep an eye on is he can cause problems off the edge, up the middle. You know Jack Sawyer, you know what he can do. And we talked about him earlier. But Tuimoilau off that right side with Sawyer off the left, it's caused so many problems for Texas, especially earlier on in the contest.
More emotion, a handoff to Wisner again, taken down very quickly. As you just said it, JT right back in the middle of things, gets the tackle for loss, making it third down and long.
That's what you love about Tua Moilau is that explosiveness off the line of scrimmage, able to push his way forward, able to get another tackle for loss, and now on third and 11, it's a spot where you don't have as many options as you would have liked, but regardless, Texas needs to convert this.
The streak for missing third downs continues to 0-6 as that short pass by Wisner is met pretty quickly. Gonna get about less than half the yards needed for the gain. It'll be fourth down, and after what could have been a tide-changing move on the interception for Texas, looks like they'll be getting the ball right back to Ohio State.
Just failing to capitalize. It's annoying to keep saying the same thing over and over again. When we've done these games, Chase, we have a player down. It's Cody Simon. So that's a big loss. But when we've done these games, the big thing, the big themes, overall arching theme for the three games we did, we've done the Ohio State Tennessee game, we did the game on Sunday, and tonight. All three have brought together this one theme under one umbrella, and that's failure to capitalize. We especially witnessed that on Sunday with Sam Darnold and the Vikings having chances, failing to capitalize in the red zone. Right now, it's Texas failing to capitalize in the open field. First turnover of the game. They're not able to do anything off of it. Let's take a look at this play with Cody Simon. Not sure what happened here. Oh, it looked like something with the right leg. Doesn't look that serious. He's able to walk it off, but it did not look that good. With about 10:45 to go. There's still plenty of time left for either. Texas to come back into this or Ohio State to score and start to blow it open?
Punches away and fair caught by Ohio State. They will get the ball back. After the turnover by Howard, we'll see how he's able to respond. As Ohio State still leading 14-7 in this college football semifinal matchup. And we'll be right back with it. Welcome you guys back to the Game 5 showcase of college football semifinal playoffs. Here is the Texas Longhorns versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes getting the ball back, and as we saw with the interception off of Howard by Texas, thought momentum could swing their way, but unfortunately the ball goes right back to the Buckeyes. And if you're Will Howard and this Ohio State unit, what do you think is the game plan here after trying to get momentum back from that turnover?
I think it's the continuing of running the football, and this is where you're gonna have to see Texas be aggressive defensively. This is a golden opportunity for one, Texas to blitz like crazy because Ohio State should be running the ball now with Judkins, with Henderson. They saw some success on it in the last drive. So that's what I would be doing. But let's see what they do on first down.
And a man in motion, it's a handoff to him. It's Igbuka, and he will go airborne for a moment, get taken down near the line of scrimmage for second and 10. Like you said, just comes down to trying to get Igbuka and Smith involved, and that's what led to that turnover. And so tried to go with a little trickery there, but Texas able to read it correctly. As again, Howard with a back on his right. Be set up at their own 12. Throws over the middle and trying to push forward is Kakmerick, and he will, I believe, be just short to make it third down.
Yeah, it's gonna be third and very short here. Good effort there by Kakmerick. Actually, a very interestingly designed blitz by Texas. They forced some late pressure, almost got to Will Howard, but Ohio State able to find some good momentum, get it to third and very short. Both of these teams have been, I don't want to say abysmal on third down because that's not the right word for this, but they haven't been good on third down so far tonight. But this is a third and manageable, third and very short. Expect a run here. They got one of their good backs in the backfield.
Gag break in motion as it is a toss to Judkins, and he is met. Great job by the Longhorns defense. As we've said, has not been the problem tonight, and they continue to show that they are seemingly the lone bright spot of the night for Texas.
We'll take a look at this play again. Safeties and linebackers just dropping, just go all going run commit. Judkins not reading the blocks very well. That's the one thing that you love about Judkins is his ability to read the blockers ahead of him. Right there, I think he could have taken one step inside and he had a chance. So it's 4th and 1. Wouldn't expect a fake here, and they're not going to.
Hunt is off and retreating to make the catch for Texas, getting it out towards the 33. And so Texas again, defense helping on its way. We'll have to see how the offense will attempt to make this game much closer. Be right back. Welcome you back to this college semifinal matchup between Ohio State and Texas. Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel. Give them 5 to take you through it all. And boys, not much to be said about these two defenses just doing the job, getting it done. Maybe a bend don't break mentality, but just have not allowed the big play, minus a couple of occasions in the first half at least. But what we've seen so far in the second half is just stopping doing exactly what's needed to be done to get the stop.
Yeah, definitely. These defenses have put on a show. As we're taking a look at our game summary so far, we've seen the early two touchdowns, and then we see Travion Henderson, 75 yards. His only reception for 75 yards as Texas still looking to seek their response.
Ewers sends to the ground as there is a flag on the play, and it is a false start. As we've said, just the continued self-inflicted wounds on behalf of Texas. They'll send themselves 5 yards back. We'll see what they could do on 1st and 15.
I love this weak side, this right-hand side of the defensive front towards the bottom of the screen with Tua Moilau and Cody Simon right near each other. Watch out for pressure from both of them.
Quick throw by Ewers offline. Try to go to the left side, but incomplete. 2nd and 15 as moving in, I believe, was Hancock. Almost on the play. Little deflection.
Yeah, Hancock in there to almost make the stop. He actually deflects this one away. Just not a good throw from Ewers. Doesn't set his feet, doesn't get his arm all the way around. Ewers 12 of 23, really not seeing the Quinn Ewers you thought you'd be seeing this big of a game.
Continues to struggle as this one, I believe the handoff to Wisner is going to get positive yards, but will remain third and long for Texas.
And we've said it time and time again. Where are we again? Third down. That's 7 in a row, I believe, they've not converted. It's third down and 8, third down and 10. The struggle has continued on third down. I would not be surprised if they get stopped again here.
Back on his left is Ewers, pressured and gets it off. I don't know how he managed to do that, and Wisner will get the first down. What a play by Ewers, just dumping it off, and then Wisner getting the job done. And that's exactly what the Longhorns needed to break that third down streak.
Might have given a little bit of a commentator's curse to OSU there. I'm not sure how he got this off. Did he get it off is the question. He does. Remarkable there from Quinn Ewers. Look at it one more time. Ball is out of his hands there. Oh, it's so close. That is so close. Man, that is, if it stands. You know what's crazy? This quick touch pass is deflected. Like, that's the craziest part. Tui Moilau has his hand on the ball, like mid throw. And they reviewed it. I didn't even know they were reviewing it, so my fault to the chat.
These reviews,
And it
see, and
stands.
official ruling it will keep it. Great job again, like we said, by Ewers. And just it goes understated just how much, effort it takes to be almost on the ground and throwing up. I know we saw out of Joe Burrow earlier in the NFL season, almost completely on the ground, throwing a touchdown in the red zone to T. Higgins, I believe. That was one heck of a play, and Ewers doing it too to Wisner to get the first down. Set up on their own 47. Blue in motion, he fakes it to him. Ewers rolling to his right now, throws to Blue, has a little bit of open field, tripped up, it gets past the 50 for second down.
Jack Sawyer, by the way, was the one who had his hand on the ball, almost forcing that play to be a sack. But it's Sawyer again. But look at the left side of the offensive line. 76, the left guard, coming across to go out and block Sawyer with this pass protection. Good work there by Hayden Connor going over to to the right side and block Sawyer. Helps Ewers go out there and make that throw.
More in motion, and now it's a throw to him on the screen. Got away from the initial tackle, but taken down. And again, Texas getting to this third down, finally breaking the streak. But we'll see how they respond on the second of the drive.
Another third down. They were able to convert the first one. But now on 3rd and 3, expect to see some pressure. You have to expect that here on 3rd and short. OSU trying to drive this team back. They're into OSU territory for the first time in the second half, though.
As there's a handoff to
Wow.
Wisner, and he'll get just enough for the first. As continuing to move the chains. And this is exactly what every fan of the Longhorns and every member of this team wants to see is Texas continuing to move and not letting the adversity of their poor third down attack them. As moving quickly, it's another handoff, and Wisner is immediately met for about a loss of 2.
Go back to that third down play real quick. What did Ohio State not do? They did send the pressure, but they didn't send it from the middle, at least fast enough. Wise able to read the blocks there on the third down. He wasn't able to do it there on first down on the following play. But now clock continuing to run, Texas finding a little bit of a groove here. You're starting to show some signs of life on offense.
Ewers gets it off in time again to Wisner on the outside and will be just short Again for third, but another good gain by Wisner as that connection between him and Ewers is what's mainly getting the job done so far in this drive.
It's crazy to me that I think I think he's the leading receiver is a running back for both teams. But the reason for that is that the pressure coming off the edge has been so good from both of these sides, particularly from Ohio State, forcing the running back screen pass almost every play now from Texas.
As Ewers again gonna hand it off to Wisner, who's gonna push forward and get the first down. As you said, with Wisner and Henderson both being near or the leading receivers, it's interesting how they're being done in very different ways. Wisner being used play in and play out, and Henderson getting the big play, as well as having much impact on his own right for Ohio State. Nevertheless, again, another first down is Texas showing what we've seen and wanting to get more of as another handoff. It's going to get about 3 as Weiser just continuing to get the job done. Be second and about 7 for the Longhorns.
By the way, Matthew Golden is still on the sidelines. They're continuing to do this without really their number one weapon on offense, other than the running back Wisner, and that's been Matthew Bolden. So play number 11 on this drive. Watch out for the play action.
It will be play action, and tries to go short, getting a hand on it was Ohio State. Had it broken up. Williams, I believe, making the play. And it'll be 3rd and 7.
Blocked pass after blocked pass after blocked pass. You're right. It was Ty Williams. Williams, I believe is how you say it. But big third down for Texas. They're able to convert a couple of them now. As fans say horns up, the defense is trying to say horns down as the Buckeyes look for a big time stop.
Blue on the left of Ewers. Now pressure tries to go to the wheel route and gets the completion and a good move for the touchdown. Almost a replay of the first score they had to end the first half. And again, it's Blue, his second of the night. And again, just within 1 point versus Ohio State.
What a play there. What a drive by Texas. They needed to prove resiliency at some point. And there you go. That's the drive they needed. And you were right. It's an identical play. Wheel route out of the backfield. This time, Ohio State brought all the pressure possible, but the wheel route sticks, and the extra point is good. Longhorns, you were questioning them for a little bit there. But take a look at this play one more time. Ewers seeing the blitz from Sonny Styles, but Blue, it was like one move and walks it in for the tutty as Texas right back in it. They're tied once again here in the Cotton Bowl on Give 'em 5 Media.
Welcome you guys back to this college football semifinal between Texas and Ohio State here on Given 5. Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basel. And let's just say Texas finally stopped being the pumpkin and turned into the belle of the ball, tying this game up. We're 14 apiece. And Basil, what do you think Ohio State's going to do to respond in this matchup?
It- So,
Oh,
hello, viewers. I was muted. F's in the chat. You can make fun of me in the comments because
despite
I
being the most
know that
used.
yeah, I know most views. It's not the most viewed stream in our history, but we is the most viewed used commentary duo now. Is myself and Chase, and we've only been commentating games for 2 weeks with together. So third game, I believe, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. I was gone for a bit. So Chase at it again. So far we've had a very interesting contest, but you've been giving the play-by-play the whole time. Let's give your analysis of the game so far. What have you liked? What have you not liked? Especially since Ohio State, who've either punted or threw a pick, have been struggling so far in the second half.
Well, I think definitely when it comes to Ohio State, as we've said in the matchup that we called versus Tennessee and even last week against Oregon, it was really interesting to see just how dominant they were. And as we said, it kind of fizzles out when you reach that second half. But what's interesting is that throughout this matchup, we've seen the highs and lows of not just Ohio State but Texas as well, and it's just how evenly matched it really has been. We've seen Texas struggle more, but really it's gone without notice Ohio State's own struggles because they've just been able to get the big play. But as we just saw, two big plays to Jaden Blue being both touchdown catches, it's very interesting to see how Texas has been able to get it done. And as we said, it's a tie game, and we just can't wait to see more of it. Still waiting in this commercial break. And of course, this is a good time to remind everyone just to like and subscribe. Comment down below anything that we have in mind over the game. What's going on in sports in general, just anything up to, you know, your guys' minds. Having a good day, ready for the weekend, anything.
Yeah, comment down below your craziest upset pick for the NFL playoffs. Mine's
Good one.
Washington. Mine's Washington winning their matchup over Tampa. I think that's a popular upset choice with Jaden Daniels and the high flying Commanders, who have been who are probably pretty much the unprobable foe of the NFC, not named Minnesota. So I would say Washington's my big upset pick, but an upset pick could still be on the cards for our contest, Chase. It goes back to you once again.
Absolutely, as we will see Ohio State look to respond. Of course, Will Howard and this Ohio State offense haven't had the best half. Still looking to score here as there is a throw over the middle to Carnell Tate. Seen the most production out of the wide receivers. Gets a first down, and there are some extracurriculars at the end of the play that I believe get the flag thrown.
I'm interested to see who they call this on. Both teams look like something happened afterwards. I think this could go against OSU. Ryan Day showing his frustration. Let's see what the call is. It is against OSU. Wow. So they'll get the first down, I believe, because it's a dead ball personal foul. But I talked about it earlier. Self-inflicted wounds. Let's look at this again. Yeah, I think this is against Ohio State, Chase. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Think that's pretty safe to say. As we said earlier, with the play with Henderson in the first half, just Ohio State, this team, having these moments where kind of out of pocket and it's done damage towards them. We'll see how the response, we'll see how they'll be able to respond here. As it is still first down. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the third. Howard, play action. Try to throw, but taken down. Getting another sack is Texas as they've just been on a roll defensively from the end of the first half to the beginning here. And they'll make it second and even longer.
Look at this pressure up the middle. It's a duel we've seen all night, but the pressure from the big 45 of Vernon Broughton, the nose tackle. Howard actually fumbled this as well, which is why you saw the markers come out from the referees. But second sack of the game so far for Texas, and it's a big one. It's a loss of 9 or 10.
Was able to recover that fumble, luckily to fall back on it. Second and 20, running out of time on the clock. Nevertheless, get it off. Maybe a handoff to Henderson. Just shy, about the 20, I believe. It will remain third and quite long.
Look at this again. Yeah, that's a fumble by Broughton. What a solo effort just a couple of plays ago. To go out there and almost force a turnover in the red zone. That would have been a big play for Texas. But right now, Ohio State have to collect themselves. This is a big play for them as well. They need to get a couple of yards back to make this a little bit easier for the defense. But another 3 and out is pretty much the last thing Ohio State needs. The play clock's inside 3.
Howard trying to get his team set. They're able to get the playoff as Howard has his pass tipped. And that will make it 4th and 15. Again, as we've said, Texas doing exactly what it needs to do at the right time as things are clicking in the Longhorns' way.
Watch the defensive coverage. They switch it last second. It's really more like a little cover two man action, and the effort there off the edge by number 11 Colin Simmons, who's put on a clinic today. It forces the punt.
Punt is away, collected just behind the 40 by Bolden. Again, as we've said, Texas, despite all their troubles on third down during, trying to keep momentum going, but the way we've seen it so far, it's definitely going their way.
They've turned the tide on it, and that's the big thing. Is that third down? They were extremely bad on third down in the first half. Now they've turned the table a little bit, and now they're able to move the ball on third down. You've seen it multiple times. They converted 3 third downs. That's more than they had the entire game so far on that previous drive. Now, if you're Texas, chance to capitalize. Who will be the one to do it there? Here, let's see on first down.
Handoff is to Wisner, redirects himself, and a shoestring tackle takes him down to make it second down. But a good little start there on the redirect by the Texas running back.
It looks like it's just a little zone run on the left side, but it turns into a little bit of a halfback misdirection. It's the halfback counter rather. So good gain on there on first down.
Ewers pressured, gets it off quickly, and Wisner, well, they say he got down initially, I believe. They say he moved it forward. Nevertheless, still a loss as the clock will tick down to presumably the end of the third. See what Texas do here. They will again have another 3rd and 5 as we see in AT&T Stadium. The Texas fans are out and about as we will take this one to the third quarter. Still tied up 14 apiece. Be incredibly interesting to see what Texas will be able to do and what either team is going to do as we reach the final quarter of this college football semifinal. 14 apiece between Ohio State and Texas. We'll be right back. Welcome you guys back to the college football semifinals between Texas and Ohio State. Chase Caridi, Robbie Basel, 4, give him 5. And this is right about the point where we were looking yesterday saying, well, this game's pretty dry. What's going to happen? It's picking up. Got a tie game. It'll be third down for Texas. And it comes down to this Longhorns, Ewers led unit. It's very interesting to see what will be done as we see Matthew Golden return to the lineup for Texas. Haven't seen him a lot in this game. A good catch to start off the matchup, but here on third down, we'll see what they can do on the first play of the final quarter of this semifinal matchup. Ewers with time in the pocket sends it Golden's way, but too high. Incomplete, and that will make it fourth down. Looking to punt back to Ohio State.
Yeah, it's good route towards the outside. Just a little bit unlucky there from Golden, a little bit too high. So first play back, they go his way, but it will lead to nothing in the end and a punt for Texas.
Punt is off cleanly, and it will be fair caught inside the 15. And again, as we've said, both defenses doing just enough to stop consistent drives, but the big plays have still been had to make it 14 apiece. And we'll just see, this Texas defense has been able to get the job done, but with so many times having to get right back onto the field could be pretty daunting on them, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing we haven't seen is Ohio State getting those deep balls to Emeka Ibuka and Jeremiah Smith. We haven't seen that at all. You saw it so many times with Oregon. You haven't seen that tonight at all, Chase.
That is correct. Saw a couple, about one, maybe two deep ball attempts to Jeremiah Smith, but that was all the way back in the first quarter. Be interesting to see if they set the tone like that here in the fourth. And Howard looks to do that. Has Egbuka incomplete, but a flag is thrown on the coverage by Texas. It was likely going to be pass interference. We'll see what the official calling is, and that it is.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. It's Ibuka going against Malik Muhammad, number 5. Double move, hands galore from Muhammad, and he just goes around and trips up Emeka Ibuka. Good call there by the referee. Pretty easy one. That's the break that Ohio State might need to start this drive because they go from ball inside about the 9 to across the 25 already.
Good job there, getting themselves in a more comfortable position as it is quick screen out to Scott, but he is met behind the line of scrimmage by a loss of 2. Great reading, great job there by Texas.
Yeah, you're going to see Jalen Gulabo, correction, just get past the blocking wide receiver. And how about that play right there? Gulabo? I don't know. I'm not really good with the names. It's kind of hard to tell with the IL names, but nonetheless, it's a 2nd and 12. A big stop there on first down.
Howard set back to pass. Fires, I believe, towards Scott. And I believe there's a drop on the part of the tight end.
No, they're going to rule it a catch. They're going to rule it a catch. Just a couple.
Good job. Low
So,
catch by Scott. We
so
remain third and long.
and this is the spot where Texas has been able to thrive. These third down and longs. Ohio State thrived on them in the first half defensively. Second half, they've been terrible. 2 of 8 on third down for OSU. Both teams struggling on it at this point.
Texas found their way with third down. See if Ohio State can do something similar. Howard immediately met with pressure, able to get it off, and finds his man. Again, Carnell Tate getting the most of the workload of the wide receivers tonight and just continues to do the job. Gets the first.
Sending the house was Texas, but Tate able to find open space. Howard able to roll to his left. Ohio State got away with a hold behind the play. which kind of opened up the throwing lane for Howard. A little bit of a bailout there from the referees again. And Ohio State able to take advantage and get a first down.
Officiating has certainly had its moments in this matchup so far, but Howard, with time, going deep, has a man and goes for Ibuka again. It's broken up.
How about that aerial effort by Emeka Ibuka? Well, look at this again. Just a deep route was initially toward up the seam, but good hands in there by Jade Barron, number 7, who's been guarding the lead receiver for Ohio State all day. Hasn't really let a lot go. But that's the type of throws you would expect Ohio State to start making. But the pressure off the edge, Texas doing really well to force a lot of trouble for Will Howard right now. So we do have a player down. Not really sure what number that is. I think that's Alfred Collins at number 95. We'll see what the injury is and more on that when we return in just a moment.
We'll give you back to the college football playoffs. Semifinal between Ohio State and Texas. Just looking here, Jeremiah Smith, one of the many top end receivers for Ohio State, but just has not gotten the looks his way up based on good coverage by Texas and just the Ohio State offense not fully clicking like we've seen.
Yeah, he has one catch. I don't even know how many yards it was. He has not been there so far in this game.
Quick throw out to Judkins, and he will get the first down, I believe. Good play there by one of the two sensational Ohio State backs.
Able to lower his shoulder, go out there and get those extra yards. Fight your way for those yards, big fella. Quinshawn Judkins able to lower the shoulder, get past that DB number 4 of Andrew Makuba. But Judkins, both running backs haven't had the best day ever. I mean, Trayvon Henderson had that one touchdown, but other than that, he's been okay. But they're still able to find ways to get the ball moving, and now they're in Texas territory.
Play action goes over the middle, looking for Tate's. Looked very similar to the play in the end zone in which Tate dropped the ball, but this one just offline. It'll make it incomplete.
Take a look at this one again. It's a little skinny post from Tate. Well, the referees are continuing to let a lot go. You got to give them credit there, but well, that one's really close.
Certainly some contact there as the dump off from Howard to Judkins will be a couple of yards short, will make it third down. And as we said, what's been the enemy of both teams tonight is that crucial third down.
Yeah, we can't stop saying enough about it because, well, that's been the biggest theme so far here. Third down struggles have been that thorn in the side for both of these squads. 3 for 9 for OSU. Texas, you got to expect them to force some pressure again. Watch out up the middle, and I think that's going to be a false start.
Flag is thrown. Fingers fly from the trenches as it will be a false start on behalf of Ohio State. Again, just brutal penalty. And as we've said time and time again, self inflicted wounds, hurting yourself when it matters most. Definitely giving the Longhorns a bit of an aid in making the Buckeyes go back 5 yards.
Cody Simmons pointed that out immediately. He was the one who pointed it out directly to the officials, forcing this to be now be a decently long 3rd and 9.
Howard with time finds Scott, breaks the initial tackle, trying to move forward, will be short. Good job by Scott to keep moving after the initial couple of tackles, but it will be fourth down, and we'll see the decision here by Ohio State.
Yeah, it's just 3 deep crossing routes and then just a slant to Scott Jr. who gets himself open because of those slants. Now it's 4th and short. I don't know what the play is gonna be, but Ohio State is going for it. Let's see what they do.
Very interesting call by Ryan Day and this Buckeyes unit. Howard, and they will just timeout taken. As we'll see, as Texas the one to take the timeout. So decision yet to be finalized here for either team. Be very interesting on what is decided on.
We'll stay with you guys here for this one, and I want no, I want to see what you guys think. Write in the chat what the play is on 4th down. I want to see if you guys come up with anything before we come back from break because, well, one, also I know I have the yips. I did put the timeout graphic up for Ohio State again. Sorry about that one, chat. But I want to see if you guys come up with anything. What do you guys run? You run slants, halfback dive. What's the play call? Write in the chat what the play is. If you guys want to, write it in the chat. You don't have to, but you guys are just yelling at your screen on what the play is. Probably yelling at Chase, yo, run the halfback dive, man. Just do it. Keep it simple. That's exactly what I would be doing. But it's weird that I actually don't think Ohio State's going to go for this. I think they wanted to force Texas to use the timeout. I think that's another possibility as well. We've seen some teams play that card throughout the playoff. So very interesting to see there. But just a recap of the playoff. This whole I want your take on this, Chase, because I said this morning on my podcast, you guys can check out Footy Fridays which is the latest video here on Give 'em Five. It came out this morning or later this afternoon. I filmed it this morning, and I was very critical of the 12-team playoff. I said it should be 8 because the first round was terrible. And everything else has been miraculous, but it's a first-year experiment, and you got to give a little bit of credit. I think I don't know because so far the playoff has been all right. I think I'm not a biggest fan of it, but I think it's been okay. What do you think?
I definitely think, as you said, there are some ups and downs to the method that they've created. Obviously, there are some problems with the particular seating and maybe the amount of teams, but I think just some rearrangement, not giving those buys to that of Boise State and Arizona State might have just made some more matchups early on a little bit more interesting rather than having some of these teams that just kind of make it easy blowouts and predictions happen exactly as we imagine.
I think it's a fair way to put it. Now the question will be, Will Howard is coming back on the field. So Chase, I'll let you talk us through it because it's 4th and 2 in Texas territory. Ohio State, who've run passes on every play, have a chance to get the fourth down conversion. But for Texas, it could be a big fourth down stop. Talk us through it.
That is right. It'll be very interesting what they appear to do. A lot of options, as we've said, the weapons galore, and not just from the wide receivers to the running backs to even just the scramblability of Will Howard. We'll see what the exact decision is here. Three wide receivers on the right, as it will be Howard to run, and he will have open field, trips up just ahead of the 15. But it is the quarterback of all of the position players to get the job done and get the first down for the Buckeyes.
Look at this open space in the middle. They're all expecting this pass to go out to the right side, but good work there from the right guard in the the right guard in the center to seal the blocks up the middle, able to give Howard the running room. The first running play of the drive is on 4th down. Big time play there from Will Howard.
Great job there by the quarterback. Henderson in motion. As trickery, it is off to Egbuka. And Emeka Egbuka will be just a yard or so short of first and goal, as Ohio State has certainly found some offensive clicking right now.
This is where those nervous points start to creep in if you're a fan of either of these teams, because now, well, one, Ohio State's on the doorstep of scoring again, but two, this is where if you're Texas, you get a little bit nervous because of the clock. Clock is not your friend right now, so this could be a moment where you gotta see how much Ohio State wants to drain the clock and then eventually go out there and score.
Under 8.5 left to go. Judkins up the middle, and he will get the first down and be a couple of yards shy of the end zone. Judkins already with one rushing touchdown on the day. As we've said, back to back rushes now, or two rushes rather, starting out from having none right before that fourth down, have started to click, implementing all parts of their offense, and are, like you said, knocking on the door of scoring.
Watch out for the bottom. Jeremiah Smith is one on wide open on 1v1.
Howard going to take it himself, trying to move it forward and see what the ruling is. They will say he's down. Will be very, very close. Again, Howard, as we saw on that fourth down, using his legs and just came up just a tad short here.
This is what you saw a lot when he was at Kansas State. Those QB designed runs on very close to the goal line. But one thing you got to point out as well, this drive is now over 8 minutes. Draining the clock is Ohio State as they have it right towards the goal line.
They hand it off to Judkins, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Ohio State takes the lead. More importantly, taking time off the clock. But 7:02 left in the fourth. A great job by the Buckeyes as they come back on top against Texas.
The keeping it simple drive of almost 8 minutes long, 13 plays, 88 yards, and they punched it in with one of the most reliable running backs in college football today, and Quinn Judkins, as Ohio State able to go back in front. They've never trailed in this contest, as they're able to go back in front with just over 7 minutes to go.
Kick by Fielding is good. Makes it a full 7 points lead as Quinshon Judkins, his second rushing touchdown of the night, gives Ohio State the lead once again. As we've said in this drive, took everything from Will Howard's scrambles to deep balls. They got the job done, certainly, and gives them the lead with the pressure going right back on to the Longhorns. Quickly back here for the kickoff. Texas going to get the touchback immediately as, again, as we said, Ohio State doing everything exactly that they wanted to do, passing, running, getting the QB involved, and getting the score to get them the lead. Great job on all fronts, as now it'll take the defense to stop what has been a stronger half, to say the least, than the first for Texas.
Texas has done a lot of things right in the second half, other than get that stop. But Will Howard almost at the 300 passing yards now. He's done his job. It's now up to Quinn Ewers to see if he can do his.
Ewers goes short, and it will be caught helm with the reception there. A few yards short of the first down as we reach under 7 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter in the semifinals matchup. Will cause Longhorns to go quicker as be a handoff to Blue to the left side, breaks the initial tackle, takes the contact from Hancock and down near the 40. Good movement there by the backup back for Texas.
Blue has been so good in this contest. He has 2 touchdowns. He's both touchdowns and is able to run the ball down a hill so well. Able to get to the edge, break a tackle, able to keep the drive going for Texas.
Both teams running through their running backs. As the fake there to Blue, Ewers lofts it up, gets Helm in stride, moving all the way near the 30, out of bounds. All it's taken is a couple of throws and they're already moving far down the field, but there is a flag thrown on the play.
Gotta give credit to that stiff arm there by Helmet towards the end of the play. Wow! They called on sportsmanlike conduct on that. I usually don't go out of character for something like this. I do not see that at all. Let's look at it one more time. First of all, it's what we like to. And it looked initially looked like a block and release route, but it was really just a delayed. It's just a delayed route, and let's see what it is. I don't agree with that one, Chase.
A bit of a point there. Nevertheless, play action, deep ball is caught. Golden, his first catch since the first quarter. We saw him come back in the last drive, and his presence again is once again immediately felt.
Texas loves this route with Golden. It's a deep corner route towards the sideline. You saw it right there. Now, this is a point where Texas might want to drain clock, but they might go immediately once again as they go with a quick handoff, maybe for about 3.
It is Jaden Blue to get a couple of yards there, and as you said, they're doing this. They're getting big time yardage and doing it in such a small amount of time, about 1.5 minutes. Getting closer to 2 minutes now is how long this drive has been. It's going to be interesting to see what they want to do in terms of slowing pace because, as we've seen with Ohio State, you don't want to give them the ball for just how long they hold on to it and how good the offense is rolling as it stands. 2nd and 8 here for Ewers and Texas. Looking back to pass, goes short to Wisner. He is out of bounds, short of the mark. And so it'll be 3rd down deep in Ohio State territory for the Longhorns.
So now it's automatically, you got to say this now, it's 4 down territory. The question is, do you go with the run to make it 4th down and manageable if needed? Or do you go for the touchdown? I think this has to be a run. Ohio State's stacking the box. Watch that. In between the hash marks, Ohio State's starting to stack the box, dropping the safeties more. We'll see if this goes and turns into a run.
Man is in motion as Ewers gets it off in time and incomplete, but the flag is thrown. Ewers hit on that play. The intended receiver, I believe, was Wingo. As defensive pass interference is called in the end zone. And that is just a brutal event for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, a lot of jersey grabbing. Yeah, correct call there by the officials. There's no really any form or possibility that's not called. Um, So good, great route there, by the way, by Ryan Wingo. This, it'll be first down and goal, and very interesting sequence now for Texas.
4-4 on the clock. Ewers tries to go throw for Golden, and flags fly once again. Matthews on the coverage against Golden there.
This is going to be pass interference again. So the ball will go from the 2 to the 1. Both times, the cornerback is late to react. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it's a delayed reaction. First of all, miraculous route. You got to point that out first. But Matthews delayed off of the line of scrimmage, doesn't react fast enough, and now it'll be first and goal again, this time from inside the 1.
Sheds off a couple more seconds, makes it 4 minutes exactly. His little formation set up here. Ewers, and the handoff is just short, I believe. They'll rule him down. Second and goal.
Not the biggest deal in the world, though, since one thing you need to keep doing if you're Texas, unless they find a way to get stopped here, which I just don't see happening, barring the commentator's curse, of course, but is drain the clock to go have it go against OSU. But if you look at OSU's defense, they're first defensively in red zone touchdown percentage. Big chance to end this game if you're OSU.
It was Jared Gibson for that last handoff. Weiser now back in the backfield as it is a pitch out to him, and he is swallowed up. It'll be a massive loss near around the 8. Ransom and the Buckeyes defense able to read that one incredibly well.
Take a look at this play again. Caleb Downs, who we really haven't said a lot about tonight, able to help drop down and make a play. How about JT Tuimoilau off the edge, able to make that play as well. So now this gets really interesting because now you're at the 8-yard line. You're at the goal line. Now you're at the 8-yard line somehow. Very
And with
interesting
that,
play call here.
a lot of clock has come off. Ewers with pressure in his face sends one up and incomplete, looking again for Ryan Wingo, and that'll make it 4th and goal.
Wow. I'm surprised. Again, no penalty. A lot of jersey grabbing defensively mid route. Another call there. I think that's what you have to call. I know you want to let them play in big moments like that. That is another missed call by the officials. But now, this is where resiliency from Texas can occur. We saw 4th down conversion late in the game against Arizona State. This is their chance.
Ewers pressure by Sqaure, has it batted out. Sqaure picks it up. He's going the other way. Ohio State with the ball. No one around him. Jack Sawyer goes the distance. And in a matter of moments, Ohio State turns it right back around in their favor.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When you need a big play most, who does it come from? The graphic says player A team, fumble return touchdown. But no, you know who it was by if you're a fan of OSU. It's Jack Sawyer. Time and time again, he has made that big play for Ohio State. And the Buckeyes, when they needed him most, go out there and get arguably the biggest touchdown of their season. As they're now up 2 scores with 2.5 minutes, with just under 2.5 minutes to go.
Absolute insanity. And you think back to all the time as we would kick here by Fielding, all the time spent on that drive. Kicks good to make it a 14-point lead. As Texas now, with only a little over 2 minutes left, down 2 scores. An insane series of events all set up by Jack Sawyer.
He explodes off the line of scrimmage, forces the fumble. The ball goes right into his hands. Able to run down the sideline, untouched, walks it in, and likely that one play pretty much punches likely now punches Ohio State's ticket to the national championship game. The 8 seed, a team that a lot of people that was too underseeded as they forced the biggest play of the game and will send us to one of our last breaks. Ohio State leads by 14.
Welcome you guys back to the college football semifinal playoff matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and Texas Longhorns. Here on Give 'em 5, Chase Caridi and Robbie Basel. What else can be said? Jack Sawyer, that's what can be said. An incredible play by an incredible defensive end, doing the job for the Buckeyes and getting them up 2 scores. A little over 2 minutes left to go. Robbie, what do you do if you're the Longhorns?
Well, first of all, before we go into that, Jack Sawyer, I just remember about this, was roommates with Quinn Ewers when they were both at Ohio State. So just shout out to that weird storyline. So the former Ohio State kid fumbling the ball to lose to Ohio State, kind of full circle moment. But what do? There isn't a lot, and you got to go down the field quick and then get an onside kick, which against Ohio State's like nearly impossible. So there's not a lot you can do. And Quinn Ewers, again, we said this in the SEC title game. We were supposed to finish that streaming in the SEC title game. Technical issues caused us to not do it. But we were talking with multiple people at the end of that game, and it was Quinn Ewers failing in the big moment. I'm not going to pin this game totally on Quinn Ewers, but just some moments here and there where they needed him most, just not there. And that's going to hurt Texas in the end, as Ohio State, on Jack Sawyer's second career touchdown, are 2 minutes away. And for Ryan Day, I got to mention this as well. A guy who's struggling to get big wins, he's a couple minutes away from getting the biggest one of his coaching career.
That's absolutely correct. Ewers, a little pump fake, and then pass to Jaden Blue for a short gain. That will take us to the 2 minute warning. And again, like we said, just beyond this game, Quinn Ewers, in his college football career, as we've said, he's most likely to declare for the NFL draft as this being one of the final moments in his time at Texas. Well, it's certainly something.
Yeah, it's kind of a harsh way to put it. It's a little bit of a painful end for Ewers. But what we have seen, I think this will likely be the end for Quinn Ewers. It's a painful way to go out, but we have seen a quarterback who we thought was going to the draft transfer already. So I know it was Carson Beck, but like, relax your chat. I'm saying it could happen. And I'm not saying it will, I'm saying it could happen to see him stay. But real quick, first of all, shout out the viewers tonight. You guys have been awesome. Shout out the viewers. W's in the chat. Here for this college football playoff semifinal, the final, the second to last college football game of the 2024-25 season. And also, we'll give you a chance right now to announce tonight's Player of the Game award. It's brought to you by Across the River, and I think we already know who's won it, Chase. Uh, the second time, by the way, that we've done this award, and it's gone to a defensive player. Um, Actually, no, you weren't on stream when we gave it to the first time to a defensive player. I was when me and my friend Ben Gans did Penn State SMU, but tonight we're gonna give it to the man who just made the biggest play of Ohio State's season. That is Jack Sawyer, winning tonight's Player of the Game for the 83-yard fumble return touchdown to win it, likely for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Chase, I think it's a fitting one. I think.
I'd say so, definitely. There are definitely some, some players that, interestingly, did a lot, didn't expect Jaden Blue's performance as the backup for
Yes.
Texas. Very surprising there, but, I mean, the biggest play, maybe of all these playoffs, just solidifying Ohio State and being, the exact play that pushes them most likely into the national championship against Notre Dame.
It's crazy, isn't it? That we are just now 2 minutes away. We were talking about this over our last break. We are 2 minutes away from our national championship being number 7 versus number 8. It wasn't number 1 versus number 2. It's not number 1 versus number 3. No. It's number 7 against number 8. What is this? March Madness college basketball? Like what is this? It's crazy, isn't it, Chase?
I mean, listen, they've taken any given Sunday to a completely new level, especially with half of these games, well, actually all these games not being on Sunday. But point being, the randomness of what we've seen, I mean, talking about, Notre Dame's only loss being against Northern Illinois. It's just a insane spectacle what we've seen in these playoffs. And hopefully the good vibes continue to keep coming in this national championship coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be a week from Monday, January 20th. 10 days to go, Chase. But we got to still talk through the last 2 minutes of this semifinal. So take us through it.
Absolutely. Ewers alone in the pocket, pressured as he rolls to the right, fires on the sideline, incomplete, looking for Blue, I believe, and that will come down to, again, the dastardly third down they've met so many times in this matchup.
Yeah, there's not much you can do now. The game's pretty much wrapped up, but there it's a painful end. How about Ohio State's defense? You got to give them all the credit in the world. I wish I could give them player of the game because also somehow, well, just talk us through this play.
Some late changes here. Firing over the middle is Ewers, and that one is intercepted. Another takeaway for the Buckeyes, and that will absolutely ensure it. What a job by Ohio State today, coming into Texas AT&T Stadium, full of Longhorns supporters, and doing the job that they've set out to do. What an incredible bout.
Well, look at this play again. Well, first of all, I thought Ohio State was going to get called for a legal substitution, and they don't. But Caleb Downs, who, for his standard, has been pretty meh throughout this entire contest, is in the perfect spot, right place, right time, reads the quarterback's eyes perfectly, right on the logo, right on the center field logo, and has won Ryan Day, the biggest game of his career. And now they are 1 minute and 44 seconds away. They can just drain the clock now, as they're just seconds from a national championship berth.
Texas still with two timeouts as the handoff to Judkins will get very close to the first down line. See where it's set. The clock continues to tick. And as we've said, there's not much more to be said when it comes to Ohio State. And even at their lowest in this game, when dealing with what was an incredibly impressive Texas defense that tried to keep their offense and team in it as long as they possibly could. But Ohio State just played as the better team and just persevered when it mattered most. As it will be second and one for Ohio State under a minute to go as the play clock running down, and will be just a QB sneak. Howard getting the job done for a fresh set of downs.
That'll probably do it for us there, Chase. Final thought from me: resiliency at its finest. I think that's the words to use. Resiliency at its finest. Ohio State, who struggled in that third quarter, and this game was tied with 7 minutes to go in the fourth. And who was going to be the rise to the occasion in the end? It's the team that, have struggled in bigger games more recently than not. And that's Ryan Day's Ohio State team, who, for the first time in a long time, have punched their ticket to the national championship. You got to give full credit to Will Howard, who, after the interception, responded well. The run game was there, full team win. The defense stepped up when they needed to. And just like that, Chase, they are national championship bound.
Absolutely. Your final between Ohio State and Texas, 28-14. We will see them against Notre Dame in the national championship on January 20th. I'm Chase Caridi here with Robbie Basel from Give 'em 5. We'll see you guys soon.
Who's coming in?